Okay, so just make sure you don't tell the captain I told you.
Oh, secret video. Excellent. Mwah. Hi. All right, so I got the glass. I'm cool now. Do I look cool?
You look cool.
Okay, cool. Hold on, I gotta do that pose thing. All right. So, which fine. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move along. We're gonna show you the finished tour here of all the remodel work.
And then we'll be able to do more relevant and up-to-date videos.
Fun stuff. You know, not the boring, fix this, show you how to do that, you know.
But if you have questions on how
we did something,
mostly he did something, but I did some.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
But if you have questions, message us and we'll let you know.
Yeah, put some down in the comments. Yeah, and we do have a lot of pictures posted of the remodel work, so you can go look at the pictures.
He spent 2 years remodeling this, almost every weekend, every night after work. It was a big
long
project.
2 years. Yeah.
But now we're enjoying the boat.
Yeah, so. All right, so we're going to take you on a little tour. This is the big tour, everything in the boat. So the first thing we're going to do, since we got it on the hard, is we're actually going to go ahead and show you what it looks like underneath. So this is, and I probably have explained this before, that this boat is a trawler. It's got a trawler bottom. If you look at the bottom of the boat here, over here, I'll take you on a little tour. You can see that looking down the lines, it's got a short keel, and it flares out, and the keel's real thick underneath. I don't know if I can get you an image video of that.
Stick it under.
Stick it under, huh?
Stick it under.
So, that means I gotta crawl under. So, hopefully, there you can see now how thick that keel is. I mean, it's just wide. You know, there's my hand. And you can see how big this sucker is. And it's not very deep, but it's heavy. And this is what they made trawlers. What? I'm grunting. Yes, I'm grunting. Okay. Anyway, so it has a short keel on it. So it's got that short draft, only 3.6. We can float in 3.6 feet of water. And over here we've got a skedge and the keel. And the skedge and the rudder keel's over there, silly boy. And the propeller. It's about a 2-foot propeller from tip to tip. And the one thing I did, I guess I should explain why there's black all over here. So as you'll know from the sinking video that we did, where we put it in after we got done doing the painting, put it in and started sinking. Well, it's because it was blocked in the wrong area. Down over here, you can see I've got black marks. That's bottom paint, black bottom paint that shows where the boat can be blocked at. Like right now, it's blocked there, blocked anywhere within that area, and then blocked that back area over there. So that when we pull it out, we know exactly where it can be blocked. Because right about here, right about there, it should not be blocked. And you can tell. You hear that difference? You hear the echo? That's hollow. That's not. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, you get to see it on YouTube as well. Oh, so like I was saying, so we don't block in that echo era in the area. And then also did some black anti-fouling around all the through holes so I could find them pretty easily and quick if I needed to. And of course, the nice thing about this boat is this toy. This is a bow thruster. Love that thing. So, and so while
it did come with a lot of extras.
Oh yeah. Gotta watch ourselves out here in the boatyard. There's too many rocks and all sorts of stuff. So you can see if you're looking at some of the other boats, like this boat over here. The big keel, real deep. I mean, that's, what am I, 6? I'm like 6 feet, right? I'm like 5'8", 5'4", and this thing's got to draw. I mean, that's huge. That's 7 feet almost. Whereas over here, we only draw up to about here. So about 3'6". So yeah.
Yeah, but you got to cut off all the.
Well, plus I got the blocks underneath too. So.
Yeah.
Okay. And the one thing we did, please show off the new paint job on the side. We did have to fix. We used to have wave diverters here, and now we don't because they got ripped off during a trip to Ocracoke, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I got rid of them.
Taking on water.
Yeah, the wave diverters were just bolted on. I don't think they were. They did that a lot on trawlers back then. They put the wave diverters on the big trawlers, and I think I don't think the company put it on. If they did, again, they did a piss poor job of it because it was just bolted on. Had no fiberglassing or anything on it. So we went ahead and once one ripped off, it took the other off, fiberglass, and redid the paint job, which there's a video about the paint job and using Interlux 2-part perfection on that. So, which is great. It's just a rolling and tipping technique. Rolling and tipping. So that's what we did, and you know, again, I have that other video you can reference for that.
It's really shiny over here.
Yep, it is. Yep. All right. So we'll head on over. That's about it to the bottom of the boat, except for if you want to look at the propeller. We've got the prop over here, which has an egg zinc on it.
An egg zinc?
It's an egg-shaped zinc.
Did you put the egg wash on it?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I did talk about that. So we put 4 coats of egg whites on our prop to help keep it from getting barnacles. Kind of works. I'd say it's about 80% effective on that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and head up and then give you the tour up top. Right?
You want to talk about these?
No, not really. It's just davits. I didn't really make a video about that.
For our new dinghy, which we won't show you right now.
Yeah, there'll be a whole video on the new dinghy.
This was in the way of the ladder coming down, so he made the ladder. He had these little extra things so that the ladder comes out further, so it wouldn't. Explain it.
Let me explain this. Go ahead and take a step down. So the one thing is this ladder's got to clear this dinghy davit, which this davit used to be over here, but I had to move it here for the new dinghy, which we'll get into that. But you can see I had to pull it up and over, and I added these aluminum extensions here to help it get past that. So now when I pull it down, it gets past the actual, well, most times. I gotta bend it a little bit. Hold on. It goes past the actual davit. And I'm gonna put these stops in. That'll help hold the ladder out a little bit more. Not much, but a little. But yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll head on up and we'll talk about the top side.
Welcome to our boat. So we have a nice little relaxing seat back here. Thanks to Eric.
All right. So
this is more than one thing.
More than one thing.
More
okay.
than one thing.
All right. So we're going to start going through here. So we got this cushion, which Jean made, which makes a nice seating area on basically what is our fish cleaning station. So basically I created this out of marine lumber. I've got basically a stick here that's been faded, so I may have to replace that soon.
It's not a stick, it's a measuring device.
It's actually from a T-square from Lowe's that I just cut and screwed down.
21.
Yeah, I can still see some of them,
28.
so I haven't placed it yet. But but we haven't gotten a fish past 17, so the rest of that's kind of useless right now.
One day.
One day. So originally this dock box was back here, and I was like, well, yeah, they can see underneath here, so you can see that's a dock box with a vent on it. And I thought, I'd do some fishing. But, well, the wife forced me to do some fishing on the last boat. So
I like fish.
She does. She likes fish a lot. So yeah, so we got, and I designed this so that it'd be a fishing table, but I got to get into the lock box somehow, the dock box. So if you want to lift up on that side, and we'll lift up over here, and then it locks. Hold on, yours isn't going to go very far. That's far enough. That's yours is good. So you can see that it follows this channel. Going up here, comes over and then locks into here. So this locks the table in place for use as a fishing table. And again, this is all marine lumber, which you have to manually screw. There's no gluing, no fiberglassing. So now it's sitting up here. I've got drainage holes back here. Now normally I would have had a separate...
And we have a hose that will...
We have a hose. The hose that comes, I made a little area right here with a router to put a hose in whenever I'm using it. I got my fishing glove here.
Is this for the knife?
No, that's for the GoPro camera when we start taking trips and actually using the boat.
Oh.
This is our kill juice, which is basically just alcohol, vodka, or whatever I have sitting around. So yeah, so...
Oh, this is for the knife.
Yeah, there's a fillet knife that goes back here if we start filleting up here. So, I would have had a big video about this, but that got ransomwared, so I don't have it anymore. But I saw a couple of these online, Similar. Hey, good trick. It doesn't lock because of the new motor. I haven't. There we go. I haven't actually. I gotta adjust the motor where it is, so this will lock in place. And right now, that side's not really locking in place.
Bolted down.
Yeah, the dock box is bolted down. So, geez, am I giving this tour for you or for everyone else? So here's the dock box, and in it, I have. Oh, you want to hold? Okay, you hold. So what I've got is I got 2 propane tanks and a mud dauber nest in here. I keep some of the other propane tanks in here for the grill. This is a painter line for the dinghy, which I imagine I don't have that video either. So has a couple floats on it and a quick disconnect. You probably want to stand back. This is getting too close, probably. Quick disconnects to put onto the dinghy. And then I have a whole bunch of chain in here that goes for the secondary anchor we have on the boat, which is a Danforth, which is, if you can come down here, you'll see the Danforth is hung back here. It's a pretty big Danforth. And originally they had that on the... Okay, that's not working. Give me that. Oh, stop. Okay, cameraman's fired. Holy crap.
Camera person.
Yes, camera person, sorry. There's the Danforth anchor. Originally that was mounted up front with the other anchor, but we decided we didn't need 2 up front. One's usually good enough. Okay. It's a good thing you're so pretty. I'd fire you. So, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and put this back down.
So,
oh, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't we already? I didn't. Right. We may not have gone into that already.
I've made cushions. And this is, what type of foam is this?
Closed cell foam.
So it'll actually float.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my outfit.
And what's this? On the back.
Okay, on the back is
screen material.
vinyl netting.
It's kind of that similar stuff we have for the full enclosure, but more open holes.
More open holes.
Yeah.
And it allows it to breathe, so if it gets wet, it
doesn't get gooey.
It doesn't get ooey.
Moldy.
It is a closed cell. You can actually throw this in the water and float on it. And so I could only get the closed cell in really large sheets.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing we found about this boat that there's places to sit out here, but when you sit,
it's a little uncomfortable.
It's a little uncomfortable with it putting into your legs.
The handrail, yeah. So
I made these with ties so that they can tie on here so they don't go flying away.
How do the ties work? You never showed me how those work.
Stick one under there.
One under, one over. Oh, okay, yeah.
And you tie.
You do a bow tie. Okay, cool.
Okay.
No square knot, no real official boating knot.
We have some here. We have some up front, but we're not.
We're not there yet. Yeah. Okay. All right.
These were already on the boat when we got them.
What are those? Tubes.
They're
those are PVC
tubes, but they work good.
Well, yeah, they're for boat hook and for the fishing poles too. So we've got one on the other side over here, which when I'm not fishing holds the broom. So yeah.
And I did the grill cover.
Yep, she made the grill cover from scratch. It actually has. Show them how that opens up. If you remember how that.
That's one of these little.
Yeah, it's one of the little button things that pulls it tight, and that comes up.
And the sewing star I work at has a heat retardant material that I lined it with.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps us protected from the elements.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Now I did add something on this grill. I found this at a store. I think it was a barbecue shop or something that had this, and I had to alter it slightly. I think I rebent it so that it would fit on there so I can hang my tools when I'm cooking. So
it's not for a magma grill. It's just
no, it's not. It's just for a grill, and I happened to find it. It was like, oh yeah, I can use that.
That's cool. And where do we keep the propane for this?
Propane's over in the dock box. Yep. A propane locker. Yeah, 2. Got 2 big propane tanks and the small ones. Also got a life sling. That's something we added in. It's just adding a life sling to here. And again, like when it comes to life-saving stuff, we'll get into the dinghy, which is a Portland Pudgy, but we'll get into more details about the Portland Pudgy. So one of the things I probably didn't show either on the video that got killed was these back windows are kind of odd. Is that they actually
have an angle, and they allow rain to go right inside
to settle in
the boat.
So
if they were open, it would go right in.
Oh yeah, go right in. So this one was actually fully sealed with 5200. I had to chip it away just to get the window open.
And if it was closed and water was sitting there, which it will,
Yep.
and you opened it, splash.
Yep.
The bed's all wet.
So I had to come up with this idea, which is some plexiglass that's starting to crack a little, which I bent using a heat gun and put a hinge on. So basically what that does is it keeps the rain from accumulating in there. Plus I can pull it up, open the hatch, and actually use the hatch when we want to use it. So, and did the same thing over there on that one.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Okay. So we're talking about the solar panel here, which I added 2 solar panels. They're 175 watts total because it's 75 and 75. And that was just enough to keep the batteries charged up while I was working on the boat. Because I didn't want to leave the charger hooked up all the time because there's always a chance of fire with a charger and leaving it on all the time. Now the one thing neat about this is I made it so that these can be removed easily. So as our lovely assistant Jean here will show us.
You want me to hold the camera?
You get to do it. Have you ever removed these? I don't
Never.
think you. So there's one here, and you twist that like this.
Oh, okay, just like that.
Just like that. Okay, and there's another one right over here.
Do you want me to actually do it?
You can do that one if you want.
I thought you already
Okay.
did it.
Well, it's not all the way off, so we got to twist it all the way off. Okay. Set that to the side, and now you can lift the solar panel up. And we can face it towards the sun. Let's put it up against the side here. Down there. And now I can angle it toward wherever the sun is shining to catch as many rays as we can, dude.
Get rid of
And
all
I've got
the pine
and
straw.
clean the pine straw and other crap that's underneath it. So, and you can see now here's the the
Fall
original.
season in North Carolina.
Yep, quite a bit of it. And you can see the plexiglass hatch here with all the multiple screws around it. So I think this is original. I didn't change this from, the original 1974. So I haven't done anything.
Someone may have changed it in between.
Possibly, but I think it's
We're
the original.
Fourth owner?
I think it's the original design, though. I
Are
think.
we the fourth owner?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the
Are we
sheets.
the third or fourth?
Something like that. Okay. Solar panel.
Solar panel.
Yep, and the hatch. Okay. Down here, now you'll see anytime you see any wood up top here, like the handrails and the side there and the railing all around the edge, I use Cetol
We
Natural
stripped it.
Teak. Well, yeah, I stripped it because it was
It
varnished.
was varnished and it was peeling.
Yeah, badly. I mean, I could peel it with my fingers. It
So
just
we
come up.
stripped it and did Cetol
Natural Teak.
Teak.
Which is, from when I read on Practical Sailor, it lasts for like 7 years. They did a test on. All they did was come back. Oh, good, nice if you saw me. After 7 years, all they did was come back and sand it down lightly and give it 4 more coats, and it was perfect. It didn't peel. It didn't go away. I was like, okay, I'm going with
4
that stuff.
years and it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, this is 4 years, so it's doing real well. It's not peeling at all. So I'm pretty happy with it. And the reason we found out about it was partially because our floors are done with the same thing. Okay, so the one thing you may or may not notice right now, the backstay is off on the boat. In order to get it lifted up, I have to remove the backstay that's over there. So the only thing holding it up is a secondary wire I have running to the boom. One of the things I did change, the Traveler was already on here, so a Traveler. I did change out all the lines, got new lines. This actually is a line that helps hold that whole coil up when I'm storing it away.
Winch covers.
The winch covers. The Admiral would like to talk about the winch covers.
I made the winch covers.
Look at them bad boy winches.
These were pretty new when we bought the boat. They had just added these on.
Did they? I don't remember telling us that.
They
Okay.
said they were like, I don't know, 25, 3,000 each.
Yeah, they're Barlow Australia 30s, so they are big boys. I'm gonna give you a better view of how big these things are. There you go. How's that? Better?
So a lot of the stuff I've done on the boat was done with my old Kenmore that my mom bought when I was a kid. All metal sewing machine.
Mm-hmm. You beat the heck out of that thing. You put it through its paces.
I had to have
How many
service,
times?
I had to have service done to it. But
How many times? Like 2 or 3 times service it after going through all this?
So
What
a
you got
lot
here?
of this was done, but I used videos from Sailrite, and now I have a Sailrite sewing machine.
Woohoo!
So
Was that a birthday present I got you one year?
no, I said if you needed a tool to do the jobs you were doing on the boat, we wouldn't even been having the discussion. And you said, okay, you can get the sewing machine.
Wow, guilt trip. Well, that worked.
Reality.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
you buy all sorts of tools to do the work you need to do. So
Yeah.
I had to buy the tool I
understand.
needed to do the work that I need to do. So anyway, they have great videos, and I did everything on the boat that I'll show you by their videos. So this is one of their videos on how to do winch covers, and it has an elastic piece over here that you slide over the top and pull the rest down, and it stays on. That's how it stays on during the wind, is from that elastic piece.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Okay. All right, so moving forward.
We're going to talk about the paint job we did up here.
Well, I actually went into the paint. I already talked about the paint job, so that's already there. Yeah, so we don't need to go into the paint.
Do we want to do any of the other?
Sure. We want to go up front. We want to see the whole thing. So one of the things you'll see here is this dome here. This is an air-only ventilator. It allows air only, so if water tries, water can't get in. There's little balls that float up. Seems to work real well. I liked it because it was very easily to walk upon and move around on, so it's pretty strong. So I was pretty happy with that. A couple things here on the lines. Here's the boom and the mast, and one of the lines here, like this is to get the sail out to take the mainsail. We have a roller furling, outside furling mainsail. It goes up there, which is kind of unique. I haven't seen too many of these, but I like it because something goes wrong, I can see it, whereas some of those in-mast furlers, you can't really see what's going on. And over here, so I've got the pull-out line, and I've got a red line here for retracting. So I always tell the Admiral up there, red means what?
Stop.
No. Okay, so that really didn't work. Red is retract. So I'll have to do that again. Red means what?
Retract.
All right. Great. I love that training. Same thing on the furling line that's running up to the jib up there is a red line for retracting. So I was hoping that would work with the Admiral. Obviously, that didn't pay off. So, Admiral, come on over here for a second. I want to explain a little bit about the roller furler. Yeah, big time. So, the rolling furling has one little disadvantage, is that it will, when the wind's right, it will flop around all over the place because it's not protected. You can see how it's kind of moving, but there's a rope up top that's going around it. So if you want to hold this, Admiral, and show them, I'm going to show them how this works. So basically, I had to come up with a way. You might want to put down that. Don't fall through.
I don't want to fall.
No, because there's no water there.
Ow.
Good? Alright. Alright, so I rigged up after trying to figure out how to keep it from slapping when the wind hits it at the right direction. It'll start to just flop around like crazy if the wind hits it the right direction. So in order to try and resolve that, I created this system where I can pull down and pull up on this.
How's that work?
How's that work? Yeah, it never works when you're filming. So,
Oh, I see. It's it's stuck.
yeah, it comes up on there and it shuts a little bit. So, all right. Oh, no? Probably because I can't pull it down, because right now I've got another wire pulled tight against the mast. So right now it's not going to come down anymore, because I had to rig that to get the boom wire and the backstay out of the way of the lift. So for right now, what happens is
You can point little arrows to the little
arrows. One of these.
Those little rollers will come down when he's ready for them to and pulls on the line. But they help secure the
You're not
sail.
doing a good job mansplaining this at all. You're like woman-splaining, but not quite manning it. Okay, I know you can't see that on camera, but you bet you know what you just did. So, these two lines bring the loop up and down, and this is the line that tightens the loop and pulls it tight against the actual sail. So it pulls it up against the mast, and that keeps it flopping. So there. Mansplaining. Okay. Let's now grab this. We'll move along here. So the other thing we've got is obviously got winches. Gene made these covers for some of the winches. This one doesn't even work. They glued this down. I have no idea what it's for. And over here we do have a spinnaker pole or a whisker pole. We don't have a spinnaker or a whisker, but we have a 145 Genoa jib, huh?
One day.
Yeah. maybe. So that helps. Sometimes we use that if we're really running down really low winds. And again, winch over here. You can see that here are the cushions that Gene made for the up front, for people sitting up front. And again, the solar panels up here with the detach in order to detach it. Okay, and we're coming up front here to the Admiral. What do you got?
Got a winch cover here.
Okay.
This, I had no idea. This, I was really scared to make. And it was kind of a trial and error. But again, I have, like with the other winches, an elastic piece that goes over here that is the main security for this thing. I have 2 snaps over here. And it was a matter of putting pieces together and measuring them out and kind of guessing to get this all together.
Yep. All right. Then we also have up here something added in because you need one.
This is cool.
This is cool. You like this one. This is our water washdown, raw water or seawater washdown for the anchor. Basically, I used one of those collapsible, what do they extend it? What do they call them? Extending.
But wait, if you order
now you can get yeah,
two.
okay, yeah, nice. So I just shortened it and put it down there, so it's only like that long, but that worked because I don't need it more than anything to hit the anchor. Now,
this is not the one that we use to clean the fish table.
No, that is not the one. That one's a different one. That's a separate one I hook up. So. All right, so right now,
show them the bow pulpit.
Well, the bow pulpit is missing because right now it's being worked on.
It's gone.
Overactor. It's being worked on right now, and the anchor's not there. We have a Rockna 22 anchor with about 300 feet of road and 60 feet of chain.
You know, you're missing the plate on that side.
See what?
You got a plate over here, but you don't have.
Yeah, I know the plate's right there. It's right there.
I don't see it.
Over here, Gene. Right there.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So I still got it. And I still got it. Okay, so that's the top side. And we're going to go ahead and... oh, did you want to talk about the windows a little bit? I mean, we did do the windows. I know we have a separate video for it, but, you know.
They had recently replaced the enclosure when we bought the boat. But since then, and it's been 4 years, the windows have become cloudy. Very cloudy. And I just redid them last week.
Yep. So we have a full video about that, showing her how she did all that. So, but you see how crystal clear they are right now because they're brand spanking new. So the one thing we are going to do is, did you just find a problem?
Yeah, I did.
Uh-oh.
We're going to pretend it's not there right now.
We're not going to pretend it. We just saw that somebody needs to thread something. Guess we'll be taking that one off and tweaking it.
I ran out of bobbin. I don't know.
Gotcha. Well, we can tweak that. One of the things we are looking at doing is also creating covers that will go on top of all these to save the glass from going bad when we're not in use.
And I did this all using the Cellrite video for replacing your glass windows, your vinyl windows.
Okay, so here's the cockpit, a 360-degree view of the cockpit. Hold on. Like the music? How about that? Huh? 360-degree view. How about that? We're in the middle of the boat.
So what have we changed in here?
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see.
It was really hot one day.
Like today?
Like today. And I said, wouldn't it be nice if we had fans in here?
See, in the other video, it was my idea.
Oh.
No, it was probably your idea. Oh, don't be sad. I said it was mine in the other video, but it was probably hers.
It was your idea to make me comfortable.
Yes, always. That's like a constant running theme throughout the whole boat.
So sweet.
Aw, thank you.
So we have 2 fans now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to talk about those?
Nope. I mean, they're just fans. I just wired them in. You know, they had it. I talk about the lights already. I did have to originally. There was a switch, and you can see the switch over here. Originally, this switch, it's a red, white light. Well, that switch dies all the time, so I went on Amazon and ordered 2 separate switches so that one does the red, one does the white. So now I had that. Okay. Hey, you can't do that yet. You gotta show them, because you took away all the fun. I gotta show them on that side, but I can't hold the camera. Okay, you put it back down. No, you can't put it back down. Okay, so so one thing you don't do is that. So there's one thing, you don't smush the wires when you put that up.
Okay, so when we bought the boat, they had a little table, but they had to take the wheel off the table. And
oh yeah, they had
I'm not a big fan of taking the wheel off my boat.
To put a table in its place. Yeah, it was a neat idea, but it didn't really work.
You can use the
autopilot to steer,
but yeah. I like having the wheel where it belongs.
Yeah, so they put a table here and get the wheel off. Now we did replace the wheel. I got this at a consignment shop. They originally had one of those really big metal wheels that went all the way out here, so it really kind of restricted the leg room of walking around. And we're hydraulic, so we don't need to actually have a big wheel up here because the hydraulics take most of the pressure, and you know I can move it with my finger. So the nice thing is during what was that lightning storm out at Okeechobee,
our first day on the boat.
Yeah. So I'm holding on to a metal wheel
gust of wind
and lightning, I'm holding on to a wheel, so I grab a towel and I got a towel over the wheel. Yeah, yeah. So eventually got rid of that wheel and I got this at a consignment shop, which was all grayed out and it was old looking, but I just gave it a light sand. Again, did the Cetol natural teak on here. Look, that's been 4 years and it still looks great. It's not peeling. It looks great. So, and I'm tickled with it because I can grab it here and grab it out there. Yeah. Alright, so what the Admiral was trying to show you was, okay, where do we do with a table? Well, the problem is I can't put a table right here in the middle of the walkway. You know, if I put a table here, that blocks you getting in and out of anywhere over here.
You don't have chairs on that side.
And nowhere to sit. Yeah, I mean, you can't put a table here, it had to reach all the way. Yeah, that doesn't work. So, came up with an idea of playing around after a while and came up with this idea. Go ahead and show them how it works. Yep.
Okay,
that
hold
comes
it
up
here
and
so
it
if
locks.
You just have something small.
Those stainless steel hinges that are in there that lock in place. That folds out.
Folds out. There's something I have to release.
Just push. Give it some oomph. There you go.
Okay.
And that locks in place. And now we have our table all set right here, and you can walk under it, around it. You can still get up and down out of the cockpit. And I got one.
This was some of the extra wood that you had to buy to replace some issues down below.
Oh yeah, that's the holly and teak, because this is our same holly and teak flooring, and I had to buy extra flooring, which those sheets of holly and teak are not cheap, so I absolutely used almost every bit of it. I think I've got like a 6 foot length by a 1.5 foot left that I don't want to part with because it's too expensive. And we got the same one over here, so I got one on one side and one on the other.
Plus he made a top to the pedestal.
Yep.
That has a little storage area, and it can accommodate my really big tumblers.
Yeah, so these two are deep ones, and then these are like mugs. And these inserts, these are just inserts from an RV store. So they have them at just an RV store. Oh yeah, see, it pops right out and pops right in. Same thing with the other ones. They come in and out. Like, and they drain. They have holes, so they drain. You can see that popped out back in. And again, I used the holly and teak here. And this other wood on the outside is poplar. So it's a solid wood to give me a solid.
It's very popular.
Right. And I made a little storage area here. I think I actually bought this storage area as it was with the pen and pencil holder, and I just had to shorten it up because it was too long, and I just cut it, shorten it. And so on the boat, our controls are pretty basic. We got basically your nav station is right here, which is our Garmin 740S. I actually have two of these. I have one here and one down below. I bought a second one on eBay, as I always like to be redundant, so I got an extra one. This is our autopilot. It's a Raymarine ST600R. I've got all my controls are here. That's the buzzer saying your engine's not running. Here, you got it? Okay. You know, and so your normal readouts here, you've got radios right here within reach. You got your gear in and out, reverse and forward, throttles over here. Over here we got our bow thruster, which turn that on, and then there's a manual control here, which I hardly ever use because I've got this handy dandy little remote. Check that out. So I can turn the bow thruster on. To do that, press that on, and I had to read about this. You have to hold this for 6 seconds. 1, 2.
Don't turn it on now.
4, 5, 6. Why? Because we're not in the water?
Yeah.
It still runs. Hear it?
Okay, turn it off.
Why?
Because I said so.
Yes, Admiral. Anyway, so that's how the bow thruster, it's a Vetus, V-E-T-U-S, Vetus bow thruster. Now they put it in, we didn't put it in, it was already in when we got there, but I know the previous owners, they're the ones that put it in. So,
and we have nice extras on this.
It's handy as hell. I love it. Okay, so what else we got? We got these wonderful pillows.
We're going to do these later?
Well, we're going to talk about more of this, but...
Okay, so...
we'll just say you put new cushions, you know.
I made new cushions. These cushions are the type that if they get wet, the water just runs right through them. They're made for outdoor.
Do they have they don't have the fish stuff. They don't have the netting on the bottom, do they? Oh, let's see. Oh, yep, they do.
Oh, this one's really wet.
It is wet, yep.
So that's what it's for.
Yep, so it'll eventually dry off. We had a rainstorm recently, so that's probably why.
Before we had the windows back up.
Possibly, yep.
So this was a Tommy Bahama set that I got. And
we'll get into further details on the next video on all this cushions and stuff, so. Okay? Hey, did you just cut the Admiral off? Yes, I did. Okay, hold on. Now we got something more to look at here. So, stuff that we do have a nice welcome mat. We got that at Lowe's. Now, the one thing about these mats, these are the recycled, I think, tires, rubber ones. One thing you want to do when you get these with the design, all I see is your butt now. When they had the design on it, you're going to want to clear coat this. Spray it with some clear paint, like several coats. Otherwise, the whole design disappears in like a month or so, or a season. Yeah, it just disappears. So I bought one, that screwed up, so I bought another, and I clear coated it. It seems to be holding up good.
Dock, right?
The other one, I think, is on the dock, yeah. All right, so our entrance here, we've got just one board that comes down. I really didn't do much here, just again, a little Cetol. We did do this back here, which looks like that same holly and teak, but it's not. It
wasn't there before?
No, originally this had the black tar in the middle. It took me hours to clean that out. And then I cleaned it out, and then I put in basically putty. So this is all putty in between here, and then I Cetol'd over the whole thing, and now it looks like holly and teak without the hassle of the tar.
Oh.
One thing we did also replace is this. And again, I think I lost the footage on this. This is a whole new box that I created out of teak. That's our
bell from our last boat.
From our McGregor 26. That's our boat. That's our bell. And if you ever hear, that's the same sound you hear on the beginning of our videos. Hit it twice. Go ding ding. Yeah. So that's the beginning of our videos. Is the open is that bell. Got our depth meter. Got our speedometer, compass here, and this is just a time. Upside down. I'm like, what time is it? This tells us the temperature inside, temperature outside. The batteries are out of that sensor, and what time it is. So this is just, and I usually take this down and put it down below when I'm not using the boat, because it will, any electronic device left out that isn't made for marine will die. Now, since this is Jean's little cubby spot, you should show. Can you demonstrate the cubby spot for me?
No.
Come on. Let's see how you cuddle up on the cubby. She lived and slept in this little area on the trip back. This was her spot. No one was allowed in it.
When we bought the boat, we did a lot of overnights with a friend of ours. And I came up once trying to sleep down below.
Oh, you're not going to tell that story.
I am.
Oh,
they
no.
were up here and
Okay,
their eyes were closed. They say they weren't sleeping. But it made me very nervous, so I couldn't sleep down below anymore. So this was my spot for most of the trip.
It's her cubby spot.
So one of them when one of them was on
duty. Yeah.
Helm
watch. On watch. Those nautical terms. Dang it.
We'd take turns, and I'd be on watch at times too. But I couldn't sleep.
Because she thought we were sleeping up here.
I'm not going to say I didn't trust him, but I didn't trust him.
You didn't trust us. Okay. So the other thing I'm going to show you also is, I'll show you the wood. We have the wood up here. You can see it right here. This is it's teak. It was originally varnished, same thing. The varnish was just peeling up. So I did it with Cetol natural teak. Again, this is 4 years old. It's not peeling. It's not going away. It's still shiny. So I cannot tell you how much I love that Cetol natural teak stuff.
They were down in Florida saying they had to do it every 6 months.
Do the varnish? That's
yeah.
crazy. See, I was like, there's no way I put that much work into it, ever.
They did live on the boat, and we were planning to live on the boat. Yeah,
but somebody messed that up. Oh, wait a minute. That'd be me. I found a house with a dock. Or excuse me, I found a dock with a house. You can see that video later. That's another video.
We'll make a link to it.
Yep. Okay, so the other thing I want to show is this is our winch for raising and or opening and furling in the mainsail. You see red is...
What is special about this one?
What does red mean?
Retract.
Yeah, right. We got her. We're going to train her in this video, I swear. So red retract.
What is special about that winch?
Well, the special thing about this winch is you don't need that. This is an electric winch.
It's self-tailing.
See, like, no big... Oh, it's self-tailing. Yeah, it's got the self-tailing top. And it's electric to some degree.
It's electric. Boogie, 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 boogie.
Do that? Yeah. Okay. However, this is the electric part of the winch, which is good because it works on any winch. It works on the ones in the back, and it works on this one. And basically, this is just an angle drill with the winch attachment that you can get. And this is a Milwaukee one with an M28, which is a bigger battery, and then you just press a button and it spins the winch. So that's how I roll in and roll out the furler for the mainsail. All right, you having fun over there?
A little bit.
Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna head down below and show you the fun everything that's down below, all the work we've done. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, wait a minute. Ooh, I forgot something. The cubbies, added this cubby in.
Oh, you added it?
I added this, yeah, because it had the important part of it.
Just wasted space.
Yeah,
before?
there was nothing there. So the fishing poles actually go in here. I've got my big trolling pole. I got a couple of bait casting rods in there.
How do you get them out?
Well, I'm not going to show you that. It's too hard. Oh, you're going to make me do this? It's a little tricky. Basically got to turn it right, hope that the others don't.
Isn't storage on a sailboat mostly a little tricky?
Always. Alright, so the trick is get the pole out. And then hoping the other poles don't get caught up in it like this now.
Don't break our poles.
I'm not, they all come apart. So usually it's the springs that all get caught, and I haven't touched these in a while, so yeah, one of them is...
Wait, he wasn't planning for this. We won't make him do it. You may put it back.
I can get them out. It just takes a minute or so. Usually the one gets...
See, that wasn't so bad.
One line gets caught among the other. So, but anyway, so this is my main trolling. The nice thing about the way we fish on our boat is we have a mackerel rig with a planer.
The Harry rig.
Harry. Out to you, Harry. Who showed me this, and that was Harry. And basically it's a mackerel rig for Spanish mackerel with a planer. And what happens is the planer is just a piece of metal. It goes like that. And you attach the lure to one side, and your pole goes on the other side. So what happens is the lure's out there, and the planer's running around, and the pressure of the water's pushing against the planer. And then when the fish grabs that lure, it pops the planer this way, shoots it up to the surface, so the fish is just flopping on the surface. And I can hear it because the rod, whenever the planer is being used, the rod is like this. I mean, it's bent, just with all the pressure of the water, and then it goes twang. And then I look back and I go, fish on! So run back there and grab a fish. So yes, that's how we fish on the boat.
That sounds like a fish story.
Hey now, depends on how big a size of fish you're talking about.
So my husband, I like fish a lot.
I like to be
Him,
referred
not so
to as
much.
a captain.
The captain likes fish. I like fish. The captain was catching fish.
I'm okay
and
with
he
it.
was letting them go.
Oh, that was back on when I first learned about on the little McGregor 26.
I said, you need to keep them and bring them home.
I
so
took
he brought
pictures.
them home. And he said, here are your fish. I said, okay, when are you going to clean them? He said,
I don't do that.
he said, if you want them, you got to clean them.
Damn right. She wants them, she cleans them.
So I learned how to clean.
Let me guess. Where did you go?
YouTube.
YouTube. So yeah, a lot of good research there. So
And we catch a lot of Spanish mackerel in this area.
And some blues. We've caught lizardfish. I've caught a shark. Although I don't have pictures of the shark, I have pictures of Jean's thumb. The shark was behind her thumb. And what else have we caught?
The cobia.
Caught a cobia, yeah.
Release.
Yeah, got a cobia.
caught a
Yeah,
flounder.
it's too small. Did we catch a flounder on the trolling?
Not a trolling.
Not trolling. Yeah, not trolling. We caught it at our dock. So, okay. I think that about wraps it up for the top side of the boat. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to meet you down below and show you everything that went down there. Cool. I'm not sure if that was good enough. Should we do it again? Get it? Not sure? Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm not sure where to go from here. What, are we sure we got everything? Are we sure we took everything? I mean,
sure.
I didn't go through the storage because there's just storage.
Was there that storage there?
Well, there's there's storage there. There's storage there. There's life preservers.
But we're doing mostly the changes.
Yeah, this is a remodel job, and I didn't really remodel anything on the road to storage. So, yeah. Okay. So I'm not sure where to go from here. So let's go take a break. Yay!
Hi, honey. Captain.
Ooh, Admiral. I like it when she talks like a sailor.
So there's a lot of things that we've done down here. And while the captain was busy working on the boat after work and on the weekends, I was scouring
the internet.
The internet.
Like a banshee.
So one of the things you're going to notice is the color down here. And I came across the website. Can I?
You sure can. Yeah. In fact, I did cover this a little bit on the paint job. Talked about the paint job, but I didn't go into this. So yeah, that would be good to know how you came up with this crazy idea of painting the inside like a beach house, which is still really cool. Okay.
So I came across this website, not quite seasoned, but very well salted. And they had an older boat that they refurbished, and they had painted it these bright.
That looks like the inside of our boat. They copied our idea.
Colors. Now you'll notice in there. Theirs is more of an orange and more of different shades of blue. And I had even gone as far as getting some of the paint colors and trying them on a board. But then I found this material here. And I used this material for our inspiration piece. This is a Belladonna material. It's indoor, outdoor, so it was perfect. It was really hard on my poor little machine.
The Kenmore.
Yeah. They had a piece of this material soaking in a glass of bleach, and it was color fast. It did not...
Didn't take a color out or anything?
No,
really?
no. So...
That means it's not vulnerable to me and my Tilex and my cleaning problems and my chemicals and
the other materials aren't like that. So we used this as our inspiration, and I found this material to go with it, which I used for the cushions down here.
And we'll go into that in another video.
And then a lot of our wood on the boat was actually fake wood. It's, what would you call this?
Well, that's laminate, and underneath it is
printed wood.
Particle board, which actually this is
a printed design.
Yeah, it's plywood with the laminate on top, whereas like the drawer here,
it's real wood.
It's real wood. It's just plywood, but the drawer face is MDF. This is like not MDF, particle board. So it can't get wet or it just blows up and disintegrates, which a couple of them did, and I had to replace them.
So a lot of the wood was like this, so it didn't hurt my feelings to paint it.
Because this wood actually, what she's talking about, like this wood here, this is actually just plywood, and they had stained it teak. So it looked teak, and we thought it was teak at first, but it was like, after further inspection, it wasn't teak, it was just plain old wood.
And we do have some nice wood, which we left stained. But the boat was very dark, and we were going to live on this full time, and this was going to be my beach house, so I wanted light and airy. So we painted.
Do you remember when you suggested the idea of a beach house to me?
No.
Oh, okay. I do. I freaked out. I was like in my head going, you can't do that to a boat. That's sacrilege. No, you can't paint it like a beach house down below. But then after looking at the wood and figuring out, like, well, really, there isn't much good wood down here except a couple of places. It's just plywood. So I'm like, yeah, let's paint it. What the hell? And make it a beach house. So that's what we did. So this is the beach house in the boat.
So the colors you'll see kind of coordinate with that.
Oh, I didn't do a 360. Hold on, everyone. 360 degree. This is in the dinette area looking around. So I get a nice good 360 since this is a tour. And we'll get to more of the specifics. And back to the Admiral. Hi, honey. Okay.
So So as he was doing things, I would say, "Oh, look what I found on the internet."
There was a lot of that.
So
start with this?
Yeah, start with
All
that.
right.
The stairs used to come down straighter.
So let me describe the stairs before she gets into the things she found on the internet. So this is the original stairs here. This two landing, these two steps are the original, or treads are the original treads. And this tread, I think I replaced this tread, then this tread I replaced, and this tread. Now the other thing I did is that you can see the width of this is the here to here, and it was like that all the way down. But what I did was I took a what is that thing I call it? Not a jack. It's a pipe clamp, and I reversed it. So I reversed the feet, so the feet would push here and here, and I pushed these two apart so that it's now wider as you go down below. So it kind of bends out and wider. And of course, since I did that, I had to, redo the steps. But I also I made these steps thicker because these are hard landing. And this one here, this one's about the original, and then these two are the original. So that's why I pulled this out, because usually when I was working on the boat, I take one step, second step, and miss the third, and go all the way down the step, and that hurt. So I definitely extended the steps out, made them longer, and made them thicker so that they can handle the weight. So
one of the things I saw online was stairs that had storage under them. This has a pull out, but these other stairs have drawers. And you can see this is a pretty deep drawer. And it has our medical supplies and a few other things.
Pull! Come on! Give us off! Oh, there you go.
Covers.
Mm-hmm.
Essentials.
Yeah. So basically, this is plywood I put together with it, and I made a solid front face, so that's solid wood. And then the big boy down here has got huge storage down here, which I usually keep the GoPro equipment at. Actually, since I'm using it, it's not in there. All right, so that's the stairs. That's the first thing we're going to talk about, and we're going to take a quick break and be right back because I'm running out of battery.
When we bought the boat, besides the cushions all being dark blue, this table, it had fiddles on it.
Is that, technical term. What are fiddles? What the heck are fiddles?
Are the little things.
Oh, you know what? I got a picture. I can show what they are.
Okay.
They're the little ledges on the table to keep stuff from moving around. Although it's kind of funny because there's a fiddle here and a fiddle here, but nothing on the corners, so stuff could still go flying off the corners.
And a lot of times people say fiddles, they are there to launch things. So your plate slides, and it hits the fiddles, and it goes,
then it flies off the table.
So, I really wanted a table like the island packets that go up against the wall and come down, but
sometimes you just can't get what you want.
The table we had here would not go down to where it needs to make this a sleeping area.
They had redone it, I guess, and it was too big, so it wouldn't. When it dropped down, it wouldn't. Well, it wouldn't drop down because I had to fix that problem too. But yeah.
So he fixed that. It goes down.
So let me show you.
Both of these sides drop down. So if you're just having people over for sundowners. Or
So you can see I got one side down right now. Now again, I was going to do a video on this, but it got ransomware, so this is the video now. You can look underneath here. You've got these hinges here that are flip-flop hinges. You pull them and they flip back, and they help also provide support when they flip up like that. So right now I got this one down, and if you watch when I pick it up, watch the hinges, boom, the hinges pop up, makes it stable. And I have other hinges that go down, piano hinges, and then I had to replace the whole column, as this had a single column, and that really didn't work because it was hard to get out. So this one, just you pull a lever and it comes down and it seats itself on these ledges. I did put in extra supports on the sides over there. You can see those that they pop out too to bring it down because I wanted more stability for the table with just being one leg. Okay, and the other thing is we put in cup holders. Again, same kind of cup holders that are up there. They accept a mug, and I can't remember the number of times that you put a drink on the table and you're sailing, and it goes sailing. Boom! So, nice thing, you put a drink in here, or a cup of coffee, it's going to stay in. I know the wife, doesn't like coffee as much anymore. Used to, but that was, now she's off coffee. COVID, she had COVID. She was in the hospital, came out, didn't like coffee anymore. Which is great because I didn't like making it. But now I make tea. She likes tea. Lots of different tea. So, we should talk about that thing that's above your head, because you can walk without getting hit. Don't do that. So,
We have a fan, a ceiling fan.
A ceiling fan, which freaks a lot of people out because it's like you have a ceiling fan in your boat.
It's on DC power.
Nope,
AC power.
AC. This is the only one that's on AC specifically.
So, again, we were thinking we were going to be living at a dock for quite some time on this boat, and we thought it would be great to have this overhead. So it's great when we're at dock.
So it's basically it's an RV fan, and it's got to change the speed and to turn the light off and on. It's an LED light, so even if it's on AC, it's pulling little amps because of the... now I have to watch out. You can tell from her, she's fine. She's a perfect height. Me, I get a little chopped if I don't watch myself. So I got him a little taller. So, and yes, I have hit my head when I've been working back there because it slopes down, so I get smacked in the head.
So our TV is from an RV.
You missed the console. We got a little console there.
The console was
Do you know
here.
what that's for?
It's for the instruments, the autopilot, the cockpit lights, and the cabin lights.
Yeah, good. You're cool. You can read. I'm so proud of you. So yeah, that's...
backup.
Go ahead and flick the switches. They work. I'm kidding. So, and basically those are the two radios. The main radio gets remote up there, and that's a
red light.
Yeah, that's an actual light that there's a black button on the side. There you go. So that's a red light we've got, and it does a white one as well when you press it again. That was already in the boat. This was already in the boat. It's all marine lumber. It's got a little storage area up there. Over here, I've got... This is thermostat for the air conditioning system, which is in the heater system, which is here. That's the return. This is the exhaust for the heating and air conditioning system. Now you will see this right here, this little black box. This is for our diesel heater. We have a diesel heater. It runs off DC. It's one of those, they call them Chinese diesel heaters. But ours is an actual one that was built in Russia, I believe. And you can see I've got a little warning that says check fuel valve. And the reason I have that on there is because it runs off the diesel off the main tank, but it also, I've got a Y switch in the generator. So the generator runs most of the time off that filter, and if I switch that, then the diesel heater will work off that. So I always say check the fuel valve in what direction. Is it for the generator or is it for the diesel heater? And I do have a cheat card here for the diesel heater controller because it's so odd the way this thing works. Pressing those buttons, there's also a Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion on here. So when I turn it on and it says set it for 72, I want 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that's 22 degrees Celsius. So I have a little cheat sheet on both sides. Cheat sheet. I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of our heating and air conditioning system. The air conditioner does have reversing valve for heat, so it will heat, but it's AC only, not air conditioning. I mean alternating power, so it runs off the shore power. The AC system doesn't run off DC power. So, okay, but the heater does work off of DC power and works off the diesel tanks. Cool. What you doing over there?
Well, I wanted to show the little shelves that you added for the printer and miscellaneous items, and our little entertainment system, which has our radio and our DVD player in it, and space for some other items.
So you see underneath there's an HDMI cable under there all coiled up. I use that if I want to plug my laptop in at the desk at the table here, and I want to watch something up there. I think we've done that. Watched a Netflix or something movie and hooked it up to the TV and watch it off my laptop onto the TV. Now the interesting thing is this is all DC. The DVD it's a Blu-ray DVD. And it's run off DC as well as the radio. It's just a car radio with an aux in, and then the aux in comes from the TV. The TV feeds the radio, so therefore anything we're watching on TV, like right now the Pirates of the Caribbean DVD's in there, and it'll run off all DC, which means I don't need AC. I can do this while we're sailing. I can do it anywhere I want and watch TV and DVDs, or like again, plug in a laptop and watch Netflix or streaming. Cool?
Cool.
Cool. All right. So that's there's something above your head.
There's more storage up here.
Yep. This is a little area and I had to put in when I was, and we'll get into that. And I've kind of gone over some of the build here. Like I think the last thing I did talk about was a pantry, and we'll get into that in a minute. But in order I exhaust the oven and stove exhaust up and out of the boat. So to get to that exhaust fan, I created this board that moves away, and now you can see that there is a pipe inside there, and that's the exhaust pipe that goes out to the boat to that air-only ventilation system. So that way I have a way to access. You probably also noticed that the ceiling, I think I talked about the ceiling, so that's the wainscoting, PVC wainscoting for the ceiling. We kind of talked about that. Originally the ceiling was the vinyl 1970 car, little holes, but you touched it and it would crumble. It was so old and falling apart.
Well, some of it had been replaced.
Some it had, but most of it was in pretty bad shape. And we said, one's going, it's all going. So, yeah. So, it turned out, the PVC turned out really nice. Okay. Gonna crawl out of there, Admiral?
I am.
All right. And, talk about the flooring. I think I might have gone over the flooring, I'm not certain. This is holly and teak. It's the original floor. It was done with Cetol natural teak, which again took us a while to figure out what it's done. I was trying to find, went to Lowe's and Home Depot looking for different stain colors, and I was like, I can't find this one. And then someone tipped me off that, you know, it might be Cetol. I'm like, what? What's that? Well, they had it at West Marine. We got it, exact match. I was like, holy cow. Okay, fine. So found out this was it, and then I did research. Then I found out how great this stuff is and used it everywhere else. We do have a nice carpet here that we picked up. Do you remember, I think, what was that? Morehead City, I think we were popping around looking at carpets. And
Not that one.
the big one in the back.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
like
we'll show you that one. But this is the same pattern, I think.
Wayfair.
Yeah, this is the same pattern. All right,
Pretty
so
much.
we do go into the pantry once already. One of our
'cause
videos.
they had like a little removable short pantry.
Yeah, that was only
And
about to
part of the reason we made the bigger pantry was, one, it holds more.
Yep.
Two, it helps support the microwave.
Yep. So you want to go into the... Oh, wait a minute. Do we want to do the... We don't want to go in there yet. We probably need to talk about over here.
Okay, so when I was scouring the
internet,
I came across the Boat Galley.
The Boat Galley. What's that?
It's a blog
For what?
for boats.
Okay.
And
Do they just do food or recipes?
No,
Oh, okay.
they've been liveaboards for years. They've
Okay.
traveled many, many miles in their sailboats. And she had can storage behind.
There's no cans in there. We don't have any cans. I guess we took them out.
Yeah.
I could see a ring where one of the cans was. Yeah, so originally this was just piece
Solid.
of wood, solid, nothing back there.
I'm knocking. I'm like,
Yeah.
is this solid, honey? Can you open this up?
And yeah, so when she showed me the picture on here, I was like, oh yeah, I could do that, sure. So it took me a while to, and I don't think you'll get to see it because again, that video got ransomware, but I added shelving in, so these shelves I added in, cut these holes out and then used a router to give it a nice routed smooth edge around the corner. So yeah, so anything you could put, like there's a winch cover. Hey, there's that other sock I was looking for.
I use those are clean socks. I use the socks
sorry.
to put around bottles.
Oh,
Bottles of wine.
what? No way.
Such. Yeah.
Show me. Like, use that bottle. Like, what do you put a sock
It
around a
just
bottle
helps
for?
protect it.
Oh, so it doesn't
from-
break? You think? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know where I got that, but
Oh, cookie. Oh, neat. Okay. How's that do? And then, they stick it in so that when it rolls around, it doesn't break.
yeah.
Cool. Good idea. Did you get that on the internet too?
Yeah, I did.
All right.
I think they had some around glasses because some people really like to have glasses
Mm-hmm.
on their boat.
Oh, gotcha. This shelf was already here, this bookshelf, so I didn't change it. Just finished it off, cleaned it up. This is my captain's log. You want to hold this for a second? Show my captain's log. Oh, and that's the plank. This is the
When you have to walk the plank.
when you have to walk the plank. This is part of NC Sail on Facebook. This is the plank of NC Sail. So when you have to go walk the plank, we've got it, and you can walk it, take it anywhere you want. So this is my ship's log, which I kind of keep an old little log of, mainly for when I pump out, but also things that are going on. I keep track of how many gallons of diesel back and forth I go to separate places. You know, how long it takes to go from one place to another. So this is my little log I keep, and I got a little calligraphy pen in here. So
Fancy.
I don't do calligraphy, but you know, I write with it. Anyway, so that's that.
Art on the wall.
Where'd you get that at?
A friend gave it to me.
Oh, yeah. So
Good.
that's a blue crab
It's a blue crab from Maryland
with a
with a beach scene
little
on
beach
it.
scene. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about painting. We didn't talk about these.
Okay, we're gonna.
Because I don't think
No.
might as well since we're
Okay.
here.
So they did have some curtains on, And most of the curtains hung out like this. I tried 10 different prototypes.
I might have some pictures of that, but I don't have video.
I tried 10 different prototypes. And I came across this. So what I did, I bought the sheer material, and I backed it with light blocking material.
Which is this stuff on the back.
It's white, yeah.
Because you like it dark.
It was nice. It was already scalloped at the bottom.
Oh, you didn't have to cut that? Oh, nice.
No. And I used these. These are for Roman shades, these little round circles here.
Mm-hmm.
And I sewed them into the edge. This is attached
with a dowel stick.
With a dowel stick.
Yeah, don't try and pull it up. It's
so
it's
little
got
eyelet
rubber hooks,
screws,
so it's hard to get out.
Rubber hooks. These are the coated ones with eyelet screws into a dowel stick. So you take these and you can, when you have them down, I have little clear hooks.
Those are command strip hooks, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So on the ones where they're more at an angle, it really helps hold it. I was looking at ones that making a design where they had rods here and here, and you would slide the curtain. But the problem was these.
Yeah,
they take up a lot of space.
Yeah, they're sticking out quite a bit.
And so they were baggy, and I didn't like it. So I've tried like 10 different styles. So these will go up, and it makes it look like a little valance when they're up all the way.
Yep. This is awesome. I'm telling you, this is freaking awesome. I love it. I mean, and the fact that they're on a port light, it makes it incredibly dark in here when you pull them all down.
And when you do open these, and you put that up there, they just pop right
They're
up.
out of the way.
Out of the way.
Yep.
Oh, that's a nice breeze.
Oh, leave it open. Could use a breeze down here.
Okay.
Kind of been shut up.
Go.
So, alrighty. So that's that and the settee. And do you want to talk about the bar? We talk about the bar.
The bar came with the boat. It has nice little bowls in there for your bottles.
My light's going bad here. I think the contacts are getting a little worn out. Or there you go. Oh.
You can put some of the bottles we had in here had more room, and they were kind of rolling around a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I found these were Whaler's coconut rum bottles.
Oh, cool. They're kind of like got a frosting on them.
Yeah, they have a frosting.
I like frosting. Would you like to get frosted?
Some of our favorite drinks have coconut rum in them.
Yeah.
So we did buy them, and I'll refill them. And we have little tags that we write what's in it. Most of these are empty right now.
Now those tags, those are what, like chalkboard tags? But using a paint pen or something?
Chalk pen.
Chalk pen? I gotcha.
Yeah, okay. Just wash this off and
gotcha.
You can do a new one.
So you can see the wood back here. We actually did refinish the wood. Cetol natural teak again. Any kind of wood that was here, we refinished. That was good. The rest got painted. I've got...
I wanted easy living. If we were going to live on a boat, I wanted my life to be easy. So any surface where you might put a drink down, I wanted it to...
No coaster. No coaster!
And I think most of it was already Formica, but if not, it was just Formica.
Yeah, it was really white and blah stuff. So she picked out a new design and used that throughout the whole boat, pretty much.
It has some of our blue in it. So most of it was already... And just
and we added got an outlet here and a USB, so we're using the blender, which is a blender here. Yep, got the blender down here, and didn't do much to here. These drawers were already here, so we just used those. Champagne bottle. Ooh, time to toast again. Yeah. We got fish food down here because sometimes it's fun to feed the fishies. Oh, here's your little flamingo shot glasses.
We do a flamingo run.
Yeah, we didn't plan for that, I think. And okay, and she picked out the knobs. You got the little bubble glass. She likes bubble glass knobs.
They were fun.
Yeah. So that's the bar. You notice? Oh, here's the other Garmin that I got off of eBay. That's the backup one. I got to find a place for that. So, all right. So off to the galley.
Off to the galley. We've gone over this.
Yep, pantry. If you haven't seen it, I'll show you real quick inside. And you got the multiple shelves. And the shelves inside, it's not contact paper, that's actually flooring tongue and groove flooring that just pops in and pops out. No adhesive. Same thing there. There. And all these latches, and I think I'm gonna do that. These are 5-pound latches, so it takes 5 pounds to pull them off. Like now, this one's a 10-pounder because this is the bigger door, so it takes more oomph, but it's still not bad to open. There's our mast. We have a keel step mast. You can see here, fire extinguisher, flooring. I did have a problem, and I had video of where this was leaking under here, but I had to go up and redo the boot and fix it. But you know, I don't have video anymore, so yeah, so I fixed it. Alrighty, so 360-degree view of the galley here. You step that way, and we'll do a little 360 here. And then we'll start describing all of it. So, how about that 360 music kicking in it? And look, oh, there's the Admiral. All right, seems bigger when you turn around like that. So,
Okay, so
this is your area. You get to talk. I'm shutting up.
one of our first time we had people over here, it was New Year's Eve. We were at the docks, and we had 18 people on the boat for dinner.
Yikes!
It was a potluck.
Mm-hmm.
So let me kind of explain our thinking on some of this. I wanted a microwave. This is a convection oven. Again,
Open it up. Let's take a look inside. Wait a minute. How come it's not on? Oh, you know what? I didn't plug it in. There's a plug. I keep it unplugged most times, but in for show power. Ah, there it goes. Plugged in.
so we were going to live at a dock. I thought it would be easier.
Now we live near a dock. Actually, we own a dock. Do we own it? Sorry.
We do own the house that comes with it. So
Yes.
I thought it would be easier to have an electric device if we were going to be at a dock and not have to worry about having to refill the propane all the time. So I wanted the option of both the electric
And you can see how deep.
oven.
Look how deep this thing is. This is a convection oven, so it's got the element, the heating element
It
for
does
convection.
grilling too.
Yeah, it'll grill. It's got a little grate. It's got the microwave part. It's really deep because this is an RV. It's actually made for an RV. So.
Okay. So this is the fan. He had to get that from Australia. They were not able to ship it to the U.S., so he found someone on one of the bulletin boards.
Yeah, it was live aboard sailboats. I actually popped, hey, is anyone in Australia? And they popped in and he said, yeah. I said, hey, can I get this shipped to you and you ship it to me? Because they wouldn't ship it international. So I was like, okay. The nice thing about it, it's an LED, so it turns off and on. It's got LED lights. It's got a fan. So and basically those are DC fans. The whole thing's DC. So it runs anywhere. I don't need to put it plugged in. And this actually sucks the air up and back through this tube that I had to make, and then up through those tubes in the vent I showed you earlier, up the silver tubes and out of the boat. So this vents out of the boat instead of just venting, in the boat.
Okay. So our stove, because it faces this direction, does not gimbal.
Because it's close to the center of the boat. You got to see the mast right there. So yeah, so it doesn't have to move. It's an RV stove as well, because I got it off of eBay.
We got it on a scratch and dent.
Yeah, it was scratched and dented in the back. I'm like, and they took like a bunch of money off it. And I'm going, yeah, I'll take that because it's stainless steel. It's practically new. I'm like, oh heck yeah. So yeah, so we got that.
So I've had friends who've had boats that had things in places that would normally be wasted space. So I might have seen this on the internet when you were doing stuff, but
Okay.
he
Embedded
the knife block
Yep.
down there.
into the actual cabinet so it doesn't move around. You don't have knives flying around.
This is where we turn our propane on. It's also our water tank gauges.
Oh man, the switch is broken. Oops, guess I got to work on that. Oh,
always
look,
something.
see, it turns on. Little light comes on. I can fix that. That tells us the propane is on right now. So, and I've got here, this is a bilge pump, and you can hear it kick on. We have a middle bilge in this boat that fills up sometimes, so I turn that on to dump that stuff out, so that middle bilge. And then these little switches, these are for lights for the water tanks. I have a 113-gallon main tank and an 84-gallon auxiliary tank. Then I put 56 is like the middle, so that's I got 56 if it's in the middle and 42 if it's in the middle. So a quick reference there on that. And I had to build that whole thing because we didn't have meters on the boat. They have no idea how much water they did have on it. So, all right.
So since it doesn't gimbal, we have, are these fiddles too?
No, those are just pot holders, basically.
No, they have a name for
They
it.
have a specific name. We'll put it up in the video once we find out.
Not fiddles.
No, it's not
sure?
fiddles. It's arms or something. Yeah, I can't remember. But these are good. The nice thing about these is that I can totally remove them out of there. So they don't need to be there if I want to get rid of them. But more times than not, they just stay in there because they worked really well. And you can move them by unscrewing this and move them around. Or take them out entirely like that as if you want. So, and I found these arms to be very, very helpful when you're doing anything. It keeps it from hopping around or going flying on a boat, just like any other boat. So,
one of the added,
go ahead.
One of the added extras is there was space in the back that was otherwise
more
wasted.
Storage! You probably heard me say that on several videos. Storage. Yeah, my wife wanted more storage.
Well,
so we did.
You live on
more
a boat.
storage. Yeah, so that I actually had to build, and I don't remember if I had a video that I got into it. It might have gotten killed, but I actually had to build the actual box, this is fiberglass reinforced plastic. I had to build a box in there because I couldn't, there's no way to get it in. I had to actually build it in place. That was fun. I did add electrical outlets here, USB standard outlets, and these are GFIs, so when the light's on, that tells me that power's on. And you can see the countertops, again, the same as the bar. We did the countertops. I put little backsplashes on there, so to give it a new look. I did extend out the countertop as much as I could to make it, more room for the Admiral. Oops, I might have gotten that on camera.
So, this was something we added. He found this drawer on Etsy, and there was space. It can be a little cranky sometimes.
You gotta pull it from the bottom.
There we go.
And it locks in place. So, yeah, again, there was nothing there, so I went ahead and said that'd be a good place to put your silverware at. And it pulls all the way down if you want to, but it's got a locking mechanism underneath.
So these drawers were already down there.
Yeah. Now there is something I did. Well, let's talk about
this.
Oh, well, go ahead. You can talk about that. Okay.
This is our UV water filter.
Which I'll show you back in the engine room when we get back to the engine room.
But when it's up, it's on.
And if it's that actual switch is, it's a car's switch, which basically forces it down. Anytime that's down, it keeps it off. So you have to pull that up to turn it on. You get them in AutoZone. So that's a car switch. But did talk about
safety bars.
Oh yeah, yep. Why? Because you have a habit of ripping off towel bars.
On our trip out here, I took down all the towel bars, not on purpose.
Nope. Just trying to use it as a handhold. Ripped them right off. So we did add, there's this handhold here. There's actually one over here now as well. And then the bars that are put over here. So she's got handholds throughout the galley. Speaking of it, so we also have refrigerator. This is an Isotherm. This is a refrigerator only. It doesn't have the freezer part. It's just the refrigerator that we keep over here, which is nice. Its cousin or brother, the other Isotherm.
They had an AC one.
Oh yeah, everything was AC. Everything ran off of AC shore power on this boat. So we got rid of that. That runs off of AC and DC. So I could turn it on right now because we're not plugged in.
We're not ready to leave this space yet.
I know. But I wanted to show... Hold on. Let me go first. So I wanted to explain that this Isotherm, its brother is over here. You can see it just over here. There's the freezer. That's the dedicated freezer. So I've got one refrigerator and one freezer. And you can see this one's a little different in the way it works. So that's the actual freezer. Now this freezer draws about 5 amps. So we don't use it as much, but we can. It just draws a lot. All right, back over here to the Admiral. We had something exciting to tell us.
I don't remember.
All right. Whoops.
Okay, so you added the plate storage. I saw these on a lot of boats, and I wanted them. And
I thought you didn't like this when I first started putting it together.
No, I told you I wanted it.
Oh, okay.
I just thought this space right here should be a little thicker so you could actually grab things in there.
No, it does pretty well. I mean, you just pull it out, it comes out, keeps it from flying out. Unless, of course, you pile them too high and they're up over the ledge, or we're heeling too much, and they will go flying off. Now, this is Corel, so they don't usually... What? Corel, yeah. They don't usually break, but if you drop one on the floor and another one comes down and hits it, one hitting the other will break one of them. Tested that. So the one the problem ran into is right here, and I may have gone over this in a video, is the little hatch that removes so you can take all the bowls, and there's more storage back there so you can get all the bowls out, because the bowls don't come out as easy. But I think I might have covered that in another video already. But
single bowl out.
Yeah, you do single bowl, but if you want to get the rest of them out, yeah.
You just have to kind of attach them a
It's
little
tight.
bit. So he added these two cupboards here.
Oh yeah, we went over this already. Because you had that really cool outfit on. The sparkly one.
Yeah.
And you're doing the whole Vanna White thing.
So.
Hey, you're doing it again. Show me flourish. Yeah. Woohoo!
We changed the sink out. And added a cutting board.
So, and I think I might have covered this already, but this is a sandstone RV sink. It had these indents, and I called the company and I said, hey, do you make the cutting board that goes with these? And they go, no. They don't make them. It's just so I went ahead and made a couple plywood mock-ups, and then I went and made the real ones, which these are maple. So these are cutting board maple that I made, and I cut in half so I can split them in half. So.
And they're good when you need extra space.
Oh, the one thing I wanted to show about the drawers is out here. You'll see that I've done this in a lot of places in the drawers where, like, here's a blender. Take the blender out. Oh, there you go. You do the camera. So the one thing is I made these kind of inserts. So you can see that this comes out entirely, and now I can get to the tubes and the wiring under here. And only thing that's holding this together is really just a dowel or a biscuit on this one. And I just got biscuit cut, so that goes back in there.
It's good to have biscuits in the kitchen.
Yep, can't eat them though, unless you want your fiber. Yeah. So, and then the biscuit just...
They're not poke-free.
So now that gives you a flat place to store stuff, whereas before you're storing in a crevice, which really doesn't do well. So now I can store all sorts of stuff. Yay! So I did that. Did the same thing over here. You can see there's one here too, with multiple layers, and again it comes out. So to get to the all wiring and stuff.
It's like a puzzle.
And over here, and I went into some of this. I had to redo all the piping and the tubing and the plumbing because the plumbing was on top of the shelf where you couldn't put stuff. So I ran it here on the bottom. So now it's on the bottom and it's away from, your storage. So you got storage area. Okay.
So even as large as this galley is, it can still be kind of small when you're doing a lot of cooking or have a lot of guests. So
this is the coolest thing.
I saw this on Tiny House Living or whatever.
Yep. We watched a lot of Tiny House Nation, didn't we?
Yes.
It's like, ooh, can we do that? Ooh, can we do that?
Yes.
It's like, yeah, we can do that. So, I don't know if I got to this part, but you can see I just did laminate on here. And it uses the same stainless steel locking mechanisms that I use up on the tables up on in the cockpit area.
Bigger.
Yeah. No, they're same size. They're actually,
Really?
yeah, same size. Same size. All right. So if you want to flip that other one for me, you can push the other knob and there you go. So you can put it down. Otherwise, you're trapped there. There you go. Did you get it? No, you got to push it on all the way. There you go. Okay, and goes. There you go. And then it sits up against there, and it's out of the way until we actually decide we need to use it. So, talked about lighting. Gone over lighting, lots of LED lighting around here. There is a storage area in the floor here that she didn't go over. Oh, the wine cellar, which right now is holding water. So I did build that, and I've got video on that you can see if you want to see the whole construction of it. So that's our wine cellar. All right, what's next there, Admiral? Where you at?
The V-Berth.
The V-Berth. All right.
Okay.
Do that 360 thing. So.
He's still showing.
Anyway, so yeah, there's the. Oh, yeah. So you'll see a couple missing
Pieces.
Front drawer faces. That one I had fell apart and broke. I need to fix that. And that one, because it was particle board, got wet and it got soaked and it just came apart like sand. It just came apart in pieces. So yeah, so I got to replace that. So that was one of the things that, they had in this boat is that they used particle board on a lot of the drawer faces. So, all right. So what do we want to talk about in here on the V-Berth there?
Okay, so looking at the doors, back of the doors.
Oh, back of the doors.
I wanted hooks that if you fell into them wouldn't
hurt.
Wouldn't hurt.
So where did we find these? I don't know. Was it Amazon? Yeah, it was like, it looked so funky and cool. It was like, hey, check this out. These are neat. So yeah, so I went with 2 of those on the back to hang stuff on. Yeah. The other thing we have up here is, this is an emergency ladder. We have one in the back hatch as well as this one. This is more of a quick pull this out. The whole ladder comes down. You know, I guess I could do it. I haven't used it in so long. Let's take a look, see if it works here. But you release that here. Oh yeah, you want to hold the camera? Do camera work for me. So you just quick release this. The whole thing comes down. And now you have a way to get out of here because the Admiral is shorter and cannot just jump on the bunks here, which normally you just jump on the bunks here and then jump out the hatch. But you know, with the ladder here, now you can just grab onto it and pull yourself out and get out in case there's a fire. Because there's only 3 places to get out of this boat in case there's a fire: the main companionway, the back hatch, and the front hatch. So, and we'll show you the back hatch, the aft hatch. And what I've got a bigger ladder back there that can be used almost every day. This is more just for emergency purposes. Okay. I guess we'll go around. This is the one I'm working on. I got to work on that. But this has got laminate on top. This has an air conditioning system in this side of the boat for just this, for the V-berth, and it pumps a little bit into the kitchen. You can see here the control panel. This is the return. This is the exhaust. It's all housed back there, which you can't see, but again, we got more storage to store stuff. And then let's see, I got the usual fans. I put fans. These fans are almost everywhere. So I found that these had really good air movement. The only thing I didn't like about them was that if you hit it with your hand, yeah, it hurts, but it's not that bad because it's got the protection things here that don't make it so hard. But I find that these move a lot more air than the actual closed-in cage fans. Okay. And what else?
You added this.
Oh, yep. That's basically this is a lightweight shelf to carry lightweight things. You don't put too much on here. I might have gone in some videos of constructing this already, so I'm not certain if I have that video. I'll put a link. But basically, I kind of sanded down that wood back there and attached it with wood glue here, and then attached these poles up top here to support it. So yeah.
You have access to our anchor locker, which also has our BCDs hanging.
And you can see that tube there is for the water washdown. That's where it hides at when it's not in use.
Yes.
And we found those, remember those pillows? It's like, oh yeah, crab pillows.
And then we have storage back there.
Oh, that's the whole new storage I put in. This is, I think I went into all this already in one of the videos. This is all this storage wasn't here before, and I didn't want a V-berth full of crap usually. I want it to be usable. So that's why I designed this whole system of drawers and cubbies to put stuff in and cabinets. So you can see I got my scuba gear partially in there and some other dry bag and stuff like that. So, and they close using, and I've got little hydraulics or gas struts that are used on RVs. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between RVs and boats.
So one of the things I read on the internet was on a boat, it's great to have storage that's out in the open. So I made these pillows that open up. They're kind of padded on each side, but they open up.
That's not normal stuffing.
And this has blankets and bedding material inside it.
What's this one getting it? Another blanket.
Another blanket.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So basically you're storing all the sheets and blankets for the V-berth in the pillows that are here.
And one's for, like, the table.
Gotcha. So, the other thing we have, those are kind of the alterations we made and remodeled. We did, again, find good wood, so we redid it. Put a little bubble glass holder in there. This is our tank storage for our scuba tanks. And our fins are back there, too. And so, yeah, so we have our scuba gear on board. Hey, guess which one's hers? Okay.
Mine is pink.
Yes. What's next, Admiral?
Okay, so I think we've done everything here.
How about the second head?
So let's go into the bathroom.
Okay, I'm going to go put this ladder up so I can get it out of the way. So you don't have to film this part.
Okay.
You're filming it, aren't you?
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So, you're not going to open. Okay.
Yeah, I can do it both ways.
Show them the bathroom.
It's not a. Oh yeah, it is a bathroom. That's right. Because it has a bathtub in it.
You don't tell them that till you see it.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Give it away. give it some light here. Hold on. Hey, check out these really cool shades. Look at that. They just come right up. I can go like halfway and leave it at that. Or I can actually go all the way up and look at all that light coming in. Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
So there's towel storage up there.
Oh, get to the boring stuff. Look, there's a freaking tub in the boat. Woo! And you know what? We have done a video of that before.
And we got the footage for that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That. In fact, I did a video with you in the bubble bath. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now she remembers the bubble bath. So, yeah. So, if you want to see, we'll put a link to that video right up top here, and you can go check out how we put the tub in.
So, you notice there's two faucets. One faucet is to the water tank, and one faucet is raw water.
This one comes out. We show that. Yeah. Now, you can see all this material looks like wood. It's actually composite decking, so therefore it doesn't deteriorate when it gets wet. So I did do, and I go into the video about this, is that we carved out this closet back in there, so we give ourselves a headrest and some mood lighting here, if you want to read a book or just have some chill lighting. Now we do have some sand here, so give it that beach feel, and a cup holder and a crab. That sand is actually from
Minnesota Beach.
Minnesota Beach, yeah. I went and grabbed some sand from Minnesota Beach, so I have real sand. We did, there's some work I got to do repair. I just noticed that I did have a leak a little bit from one of the seals, so I've got to probably replace this wood here that's gone bad. We do have a drying rack that comes out, and that hooks up to here, and then you hang your drying here right in the tub. The nice thing about the tub is it's multi-purpose. You can use it for putting in drinks, and cleaning fish, and doing laundry, and scuba gear cleaning, and drying racks. So yeah, tub is a great thing to have on a boat. Yeah, but again, we have a video on that.
Again, and we were planning on living on our boat full time.
You keep saying planning on living, but we're not doing it yet. Is that coming?
Eventually, but
right.
I mean, I could go 6 months of cruising without having a bathtub. I could.
No.
Yeah.
Liar! Liar! Not even. Oh my God.
But, you know, knowing that I was going to live there full time and we weren't going to have a house, we weren't going to have extra storage. Mm-hmm. And you said, hey, what if we put a tub on it? I'm like,
yeah, because we didn't really need a second head in here. And the biggest problem with the second head is it just sucked a whole bunch of water into the tank, and we didn't need two heads.
I did want to do a composting head in here, but there just wasn't room.
Yeah. Do have a caged fan here. This one's got some extra controls for different speeds and all, and so this one is more of an open cage, so it gets more, I think, more airflow than the other cages, and it has a movement like that, so you can move it all around, so that's handy.
Help dry the clothes.
Yep. And again, same thing with the holders there. I will show you down here the storage below that I have. Like, these move in and out. I have neodyne magnets on here on the ends, so that when I push it up against there, it actually locks with magnetics, so it doesn't move. But I can still give it enough oomph, and I can get under there and put storage under here, and can also get access to the actual pumps and other tubes that are down there. The other thing is that this here is also storage. I should have made this easier. I should have put a hole in the middle here. So this comes out. Again, I'm using dowel sticks for everything. So that can come out, and now I have another storage area here. Or, for the sake of, oh my God, I need to get under here and access everything, the whole thing comes out.
Oh, crap.
Didn't know that, did you? So the whole step comes out. So now I can get to under here where the pumps are. If you look down here, I'll take you down. And you can see that there's the pumps is down there, and the electrical connection. So that gives me access to everything by taking. And of course, if it really gets worse, I can take the screws out of here and start pulling boards off if it really becomes a problem. So, all right, that's our bathroom.
All right.
All right. What next?
We gotta go back to
back in the back. Let's go. Woohoo! Oh, wait a minute. I think I went too far. Should I come back?
Sound effects.
Oh, do you like the sound effects? Oh, that was cool. Vroom.
So we got to the freezer.
Yeah. one thing with the freezer here, I did add there's a switch here, and that turns on an extra venting fan. You can hear it, it's right in there, in this vent. So to help it cool down better, I mean, it's got a fan in the back, and I know that it died one time, so I put that in place. And I just left it in place because it's an extra, helps it cool down faster when it's being freezed. All right, so here's the exciting part that Jean has no recollection of. I have to go over this several times.
This is the water pump.
Oh, good. You saw that. All right, so we got a little coat hook here, basically for all our. This is a temperature gauge, which uses infrared or laser or whatever the heck that is to read what temperature is. What temperature? Well, let me see if I'm gonna.
Oh, you are hot.
I want to see if you're hot. Oh, you are, baby. You are definitely hot. Okay. So that's where we hang keys for the engine and for the
toilet,
the
black water.
Yeah, the tank,
the diesel,
the tank caps. Okay, so we'll kind of go through this real quick here. This is our battery charger. This is how we select shore power generator or inverter. We do have an inverter on board. Right now the AC is on. I've got it on and triggered. We do have a generator. The fun thing with this is it's got a protection that you throw that over. You have to push the safety up. That keeps you from moving the AC when you turn the generator on. Okay. I just did a video about this wonderful little switch that wasn't working for a while. That's how you select shore power or generator for the air conditioning systems. And these are the switches for the front air, for the back, the middle air conditioning, and then the back air conditioning. And this outlet runs off these breakers, so that way I can tell. And you'll see that in that other video I just posted, if it was, had power or not. So, in fact, that also is how we power our house. Since we have an 8 kW generator on board, and we'll get to the generator, we actually rigged it so the boat generator will power our house in case of an outage. I ran an electrical line and a transfer switch up to our house so that if we lose power, we run the boat.
We live in an area that's hit by hurricanes.
It's a small town.
Power pretty frequently.
It's Oriental. It's a small town. You can look it up, and when they lose power, it might take them a while to get it back up. So we've got a backup. So next thing we've got here is, like she mentioned, we have the water pressures on right now. Battery. This tells me what my house battery is currently doing, which is at 11.72. Which isn't charging, so really that's a problem. I need to turn on the charger probably. So we come down here. Oh, I've got my autopilot switch. It turns on the autopilot here. This box here is the autopilot that turns it on, and there's another switch out there that turns it on. Then we've got these are all the AC power elements. So if I want to turn on the charger, I flick that. That turns the charger on because I have power, and you should see that panel light up here, and there it goes. And you can see now it's going to start charging. You watch this meter here, that's our house batteries, and I'll show you those house batteries back there, what we've got. You should see that number start to change here in a minute. There it goes, 79. Whoop, there it goes. See it going up, 11.84, 11.9. So now it's starting to do its charging, which the solar panels usually do it, but since I moved the solar panels, one of them probably isn't catching enough sun.
I don't know if we've mentioned today that our boat is a Gulfstar.
Oh. It says Gulfstar right there. Gulfstar. Yeah, this is a
Gulfstar 1974-44.
Yeah.
Sloop.
Nice. She remembers. So, ow, what did you hit me for? Well, that was a love tap. Thank you, honey. So you can see that it's starting to charge. Then we've got a water heater. We do have a 20-gallon water heater on board. The freezer, which actually does turn on this freezer back here that we just talked about. I have a second battery charger. That's an old manual one that was original to the boat. And then thruster converter, which is another word for thruster charger because it has its own battery, so we turn that on. And then I can see, like right now I'm looking at the thruster, so I turned it on, it's charging at 14, now it's starting to go up. So it's starting to charge the thruster as well. And then we've got a heater, which I couldn't put hot tub on there because they don't have a label that says hot tub. That's to turn on the jets and the heating unit on the tub in the other room. I bet you didn't know that, did you? Look at that. Yep, she didn't know it. Okay. Then I've got here, this is the original cabin light system. So turn this on. There's AC lights and DC. This took me a while to figure this out. So DC lights is on right now, which I've got the lights on. They're all DC. The cabin lights. There's a transformer switch here. so that if I turn it on to AC, I flip that up, all the lights went off. So I'll look over here. So I can turn it. Okay, see there it's on. Okay, and now it's off. So the one thing is I can actually, where it says AC lights, I can turn on a transformer which will transform AC to DC, which was how they used to do the lights.
Reverse polarity?
No, not reverse polarity. It's just instead of, usually your converters go from AC to DC, it downgrades so you can run DC things. But this one kind of takes AC and downgrades it to, well, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Usually, but okay, you got me confused now. You threw me off. Like I said, it took me forever to figure this one out. So it's going to take the AC voltage and transform it to DC. So when I flick this switch on, the lights will come on. And see, I'll do it again. So there they're off. Now I'll turn the transformer switch on, and you'll see the lights go on. You see them flickering a bit because it's not really good DC. And this little fuse gets hotter than heck because it's converting a high voltage AC to low voltage DC. So
let's turn it
typically we don't use it, but it works, and that was original to the boat. So typically I just turn on DC to turn the lights on, and then I flick it that way to turn all the lights off because I don't have the transformer switch on. Okay. So down here we have a switch that says cabin lights. Actually, they're just red lights, so I can see here. Shore power polarity tells me if I got reverse polarity. Right now it shows me how much AC voltage I got coming in, how much shore power I've got, how many amps I'm pulling. Right now I'm doing 10 amps because I've got the charger on. Like if I were to turn the charger off and the thruster off, you see the amps just drop. Okay, and generator, when I'm running the generator, you see how many amps I'm drawing on the generator. Down here we have a switch to switch between the batteries. I've got a tank view for the black tank, what it's at, engine hours, and then we do have an inverter on board, which is what this switch is for, to turn the inverter on so we can run inverter power to power our AC stuff if we need to.
The blender.
Like the blender, which is the important thing. Alright, so that's our AC panel. Here's our DC, which is all the lights: steaming light, running lights, anchor lights, spreader lights. There's a blower for the engine room to blow stuff out of there. And the lights actually for this, there's a little light that comes on right there. See? Alright. This is our generator control. And you can see here it says generator minimum fuel tank level is 30 gallons. How to find that out? Because it doesn't start or run after 30, if your tank's lower than 30 gallons. Now you're saying, God, 30 gallons, that's all I got in my... It's like, whoa, 30 gallons, that's all I've got in my boat. Well, I have 225 gallons in the boat, so 30 gallons for us is kind of low. Whereas most other sailboats...
Will it run? Will it continue to run after
generator?
30?
I don't know. I couldn't get it started at one point because of it, but I didn't actually test.
So the generator won't run, but the engine will.
Yes, because that's what they put it in place for, so you don't suck all your fuel up and you have none left for your engine.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So here you got heat and, you know, what voltage, it's engine oil, voltage, engine hours. Check fuel valve says the same thing over there on the diesel heater. So, because I can switch between the diesel heater or the generator. So, all right. And this is our autopilot. Tells me our bilge pumps, bilge pump high water alert, and our anchor drag is on here. And pretty much keep those on all the time. The usual placards you have to have on a boat to be Coast Guard compliant. This is a battery thing. It keeps the batteries evenly charged. Yeah, that's a smoke detector in a...
And it says fire, fire, fire.
You want to test it?
No, I didn't say.
There you go.
Fire.
Now next thing it's going to do is carbon monoxide. Hold on. Is it loud enough?
It's right by my ear.
Carbon monoxide.
So it does carbon monoxide too. You want to test it?
I did not want to test it.
Okay, so the other thing we've got here, and I don't know if I probably never got to this because I think the footage got ransomware. These are our two Engel fridge. Right now we have two of these, and these run off of AC and DC power. So I can set it on, and you can see here. Right now I've got it set to freeze. So, and I can turn that up or down to, like, that's on refrigeration. It draws about an amp or so when refrigeration and about an amp and a half on freeze. Runs on both DC and AC. Right now it is actually, let's see, I know we just turned it on a little bit ago, so it's starting to get cold. So I can feel it, and we're starting to get our drinks cold. The important stuff. So originally this was a whole cold plate system, and I've got pictures I'll show. If I've got pictures, I'll show them. I yanked all that out. It actually went out further. It closed, it went out to here.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, so I had to replace all that wood because I pushed it back to give it more.
And the problem was when we were cruising and didn't have access to AC power.
Because they ran off of AC only.
And we lost some food coming up here. Not just because of that, but also because of the water dumping on the...
And when I pulled this all out, it was all moldy inside from the insulation, so it had leaks and stuff. So it was a just pull it out and start over. And we love the Engels. We had an Engel in our McGregor for what, 13 years? It was great. I mean, it pulls, it sips power, keeps things cold. I mean, we had it running on a small...
They're a little pricey, but they're very well worth it.
Yeah. Like we had it on the McGregor. We stayed a week on the boat, and it didn't kill the battery off at all. And we had one battery.
I complained when he bought them the first
time.
time.
My God. She was so mad at the cost of those Engel. That one Engel, she freaked out. But after that, you don't have to haul ice on the boat. It's like, great, you can make ice on the boat using it. So,
yeah,
okay, so what's this? Somebody's probably wondering, what the hell's that thing? This is called a cradle point. You can look it up on the internet. It's basically a way to receive a cellular signal and turn it into a Wi-Fi hotspot. So I have a card in there. What do they call those little chip cards that go in phones?
SIM card.
SIM card. So there's a SIM card in there. That is a cell phone basically on its own, and it takes in the cellular signal and spits out a Wi-Fi. So we have Wi-Fi on the boat all the time. Now you're probably wondering, does it come with this? This is actually a heat sink off a CPU I pulled off a computer because this little sucker gets hot, and I find it really cools down when I put a heat sink on it. So I added that. Yeah.
I thought it was decoration.
Nope, that was me. So I'm thinking we'll come back to the engine room because that's boring techie stuff that nobody probably wants to see, right?
Oh, you know all the guys are...
Okay, guys want to see it, but girls are like, yeah, whatever. Show us the pretty stuff. Okay, so we got our own door here. Coral. So it's coral in color.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so, okay, 360 degree, right? There we go again. 360 of the whole
so some of the
aft
things...
berth.
Can I talk about you doing this?
You sure can.
So some of the things I wanted on a boat, if I was going to live on the boat, were a shower, that I could take a shower on the boat and not get the toilet paper wet. So I didn't want a wet head. And I also wanted a center bed that you could go around.
That's not a center bed.
Sides.
This is not a center bed.
We all make compromises. So this is a double berth over here, and this is a single berth.
So you mean that's my bed and that's your bed?
Yeah, he doesn't want to sleep in the inside, and I'm too claustrophobic to sleep under
on the inside. She won't. Yeah,
inside. So.
But she'll let me sneak over to her bed occasionally. Hey. If I behave myself, which apparently I'm not now.
You can cut that out.
Oh, I've got to edit. Oh, hey, so we were talking about ladders. So here is the ladder. Here, why don't you take that? Oh, open up the hatch here. Get some air in here. Oh, you know what? That came up much easier without the solar panel on top. All the solar panel's not that heavy. Okay, so this is a beast of a ladder. I put this in meant to be used on a regular basis, so it's not that cheapy little emergency one. This is a more expensive one, but it works the same way. You pull this out, you release this strap here. Open it up here. There's a little hole you stick out here. This goes down. It sticks up against there, and then you can actually use it to climb up out of the boat. Hey, it's really nice out here.
It is nice.
So this is the other emergency escape ladder that I put in place, and like I said, it's more beefy than the other one. So, because I figured if we need to get out in a hurry, this would be a good one to put in. Again, it just folds up. Take that. Okay, this is a flag post, in case you're wondering.
Is it?
I had to figure that out. Yeah, it took me a while because if you don't have something to push it up against there, the ladder goes in and you can't walk up it. So I had to put that in. It took me a while to find something that was like that. And again, I got this strap just to keep it up and keep it suspended up there. Alright. Okay. So, what else we got here? We're going to start over here.
We
want to start over there.
So above, this was just open storage on top of the drawers, and he added extra storage, which is meant to go on top of a
refrigerator. This is a refrigerator top you get at Lowe's.
And he added alarm clocks, because again, we were going to be going to work.
I did, yeah, I added cubby. You can see here I've got a little clock here. I added this whole section here and a little cubby area, added this light in here, which is independent from the other switch to DC. This is hooked directly to the batteries, so when we're in bed we don't have to have that switch on. AC power with USBs, DC power with USBs. So I got all the power here. I can see what the temperature is inside, outside, what my battery voltage is, and what time it is. And I've got the same thing on the other side, so that no matter what side we're in, you can see that that stuff is right there on both sides. Okay. What else? Oh, over here in the this is a closet, which I again just redid the doors because they were in good shape, so I didn't have to do much to them. There's a little micro switch here, and when you close the door, it turns the light off, so that when you open this, it turns the light on, so you can see what's inside. Okay. Bedding underneath there is some storage. I think my compass under there, steering is under there. Some of the hydraulic steering is under there, and we'll get a little bit more into that. Oh, here's the Admiral side. Oh, the cup holder from hell. The beefy boy. So my wife tends to like to have these really big mugs. By the way, where is your really big mug? You want to go get it? Yeah, let's go get that. I'll show you how this works. Take that out. This earplugs, always good to have those when you're sleeping at a noisy anchorage. Someone's, halyards slapping in the wind. We did get the covers at Walmart. Picked out a nice design like that. So you can see how that works, for those big mugs. I could never find one that was already made that could handle the mugs that she uses. These things are huge. So came up with this design, made it out of wood, and I put some laminate underneath it, and I put a slot in here so in case she has a coffee mug, that can also go in there. So, and it will hold absolutely anything she sticks in there.
Wanted a headboard look, so we added these.
Yep. Goes with the same coral color. Okay, what else? Oh, storage. So, well, actually, not storage. So look at this. Here's the rug we were talking about that we picked out. That's the original rug, and I cut it a little bit to shape to fit back here. So we have a little rug we can pull out and clean when we need to. Again, storage. This was all just a blank wall here with nothing else, so I added doors and added storage in there for shoes is pretty much what we keep in there. And again, it's got the flooring, the tongue and groove flooring that just comes out. So the real question is, okay, what the heck is this thing sitting right here? So if you're looking at this, this is part of our emergency rudder and tiller steering system. You okay? You're gonna sit on a place I'm going, because I'm gonna open that up. Sorry. So you can see here there's some connections called gudgeons for a rudder, and then back here are just some supports, and there's this little slot here. This actually goes into our swim platform. Fits right in there, and then this bolts like a clam down. You can see some of the bolts holes, the nuts on this side, that actually then I put a screw in, and that will clamp it down on the swim platform, and then that will give us a rudder position to put our rudder on, or auxiliary motor mount as well. I didn't think about that until I was doing a tour recently. I was like, well, yeah, I could use that as a mount for the outboard motor, because we did have a steering issue at one point, didn't we?
We did.
Take hold. So there's an emergency tiller in here, and you lift up on here. Take this off. Okay, so you look down here. So this is the storage I made. Again, I used dowel sticks, so I can just pull up these boards, and you see the dowel sticks there.
See one.
Well, one's still down in there. And there's one with two, so that comes out, and the shoes can all come out. Yeah, I bet you didn't know you had all these shoes in here, huh?
That's where those shoes are.
And this board that's down here, oh, and then, like I said, this is all tongue and groove flooring. So that comes out. I can't remember if I went over this in one of the videos, but it's flooring that tongue and grooves, no adhesive. So that goes to the flooring. And then I've got a board down here to give it a flooring. Now, why would I want to access this? Well, this is where the rudder is. So if you want to kind of shoot down here and look inside, might want to get a little closer down inside here. So there's the rudder mount. Here's the emergency rudder. Pull that out. So this is the emergency rudder that actually hooks onto here. You can see that they hook on. Gotta get all three in here. So there's the rudder. Might want to back up a little. So that's the emergency rudder that attaches to the swim platform. You're like, okay, well, where's the tiller? Good question. Tiller is down here. So there's the tiller that then hooks onto here. So now I've got a spare rudder and tiller to steer the boat. Now we did test this. Unfortunately, I don't have video of it because it got ransomware. So we can do about 4 knots is about the maximum I could do before the rudder really doesn't work. This is the emergency tiller that came with the boat. You can see it's metal, it's big. It actually goes and hooks on down there, and then you steer from down here, which is lots of fun, as the wife will mention.
We have done it before.
We've done it. So basically, someone's up top, and one's down here shouting commands. Starboard. No, the other starboard. Port. No, your other port. So we were doing that all the way back to Ocracoke. From Ocracoke, yeah, from Ocracoke to Oriental. So it is good to have this because our main hydraulic cylinder had got a hole in it or had blown a seal. So while I was in there and I fixed the other cylinder, I went on eBay and bought a whole nother one. So this is our backup steering cylinder that I have that's ready to go. What's it say on there? It says backup steering cylinder. So this is our backup in case, you know, this one's in good shape. It's ready to go. It's all sealed. If the other cylinder goes out and I don't have time to do a rebuild, I can just pull one out and put the other one in, and that will take care of us and get us back in steering. And over here I've got, you can see emergency rudder and tiller mounting bolts are all right here to mount that on. Okay?
How does all that stuff go back in there?
Very carefully, like a puzzle. If I can remember.
We got the video.
Huh?
I said we got the video.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Alright, so we'll put that to the side here for a minute. It did actually take me a while to figure out how to get all that back in there.
Okay, because we still have more of the tour.
We got a tour still to do. Yep.
Yes.
Alright, so we're just...
So, this is some of the wood that we did not paint because it was very nice looking. And we have a closet there for longer items. And of course the hanging closet over here for the shorter items. Yeah.
And then you can see I've got an AC vent, heating vent here that spits out from the main AC system in the middle of the boat. All right, drum roll. The big attraction.
The head.
The head. The main head.
For a boat this size, our head is quite large.
Mm-hmm. Got a nice full-length mirror. Ah! Stop that. Put a switch in here to turn all the lights on and off here, so you can turn them in and out. This is her best. You want to go stand in the shower and show them how nice it is. Yay! So, this is a full standing shower. I did add the teak steps down there. We painted it coral. We added some accoutrements in here for, you know, what do you call them? Not accoutrements? Utilities.
Shower.
This is an RV shower head. Now, what's unique about the shower head is it has a switch up here that when you soap up your head and you don't want it running, you turn that off and it just drips a little bit, and that way it keeps the hot and cold, and doesn't force just hot or cold into if you shut it, like if you were to shut it off.
So you soap up, rinse off.
Yep.
And you're not using
and then up here, you can see we've got lights. These are neat. I found these on Amazon. You touch them and they go out, and you touch them again and they go up. That one's been having a little flaky, but then you can tap it a little bit to change, you know, how much of I think it's you tap and hold. Anyway, usually I just tap, turn on, that's it. We do have a grab bar handle here, and we put one over here.
And we didn't put any towel bars up
Why
here,
didn't we put towel bars in here?
Okay, so the weather started getting rough on our trip.
Is this a Gilligan's Island story?
No. And I came down here to take my seasickness medicine. And the rug that was on the floor slipped. I fell, I hit my head and my elbow and took out the towel bar.
Which was right across here.
Yeah. Didn't really hurt myself, but I was sore.
And then she took the other one out in the other bathroom. At another point in the trip.
Overhead, yes.
So now we have dedicated handholds that can handle any pulling or yanking on them while you're in here.
And we have hooks for the towels.
And we don't put a towel bar in here, we just do hooks because you're more likely not to grab those.
We have a shelf for extra.
That I self-built that one to put stuff in.
We have a mirror so I can see the back of my hair.
Yeah, this is one of those, if you want to unattach it, it's Velcro. It's Velcro. You keep it Velcro during the trip, otherwise this thing will fling out and flop all over the place. Yep. Show them how it works, hon. Hey, look at the back of your head.
I can see the back of my hair when I'm doing it.
Yep. Oh, and all that video I took of you doing your hair, and
Yeah.
it got ransomware.
I figured.
Yeah. Up here is a vent. You can kind of hear it running. This is a air-only ventilator. It comes with it, that same dome I showed you on top, and helps ventilate and vent outside of the boat in here because it gets a little humid. So, what you got?
So this is a medicine cabinet. It had lights on it, but the lights didn't fit.
At the top here, it's like it dropped the mirror down, so I cut that off and refinished it. And it's actually a medicine cabinet from Home Depot. As you can see, we painted it because you can tell on the inside it had a little wood laminate on it and wood layer. So
Fake wood.
Fake wood.
We have our sink, our vessel sink, which...
Our waterfall sink. How awesome is that? Do it again, do it again. Look how awesome that is. Now go hot. Go cold. Yeah. Okay, we saw this sink and we just got to have it. I didn't care how big it was. I didn't care if I was going to make it fit in the boat. And I did. I actually extended the countertop here, so I pulled the countertop out so we have more countertop room because I had to get the sink in. So, which is always good to have more countertop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
we have quite a bit of storage for a boat this size. Both sides. One of the added things we did, again,
it was just empty space. There was nothing there. So I said, you know what? I bet I could make some curling iron storage. So if you look inside, and I don't know if you can kind of see it, there's a tube, a metal tube back there in each port. Let's see if I can get back there and see. There's a metal tube. Probably can't see it. It's too dark. But it's a metal tube back there that these all fit into. If they're hot, you can put them back in a metal tube and store them in there.
And again, if you're living on your boat at a dock and working, that's more important than if you're cruising. Additional storage down here.
Oh, show them that storage. Open it, because I did the same thing down here. You see that? There's that shelf again that I made that comes up. Those are all just held together with dowel sticks. So, because the underneath there, if you open up that other side, you can see where it ends. Yeah, you see there's where it ends, and you can see that there's big tubes. That's the exhaust for the engine, the exhaust for the generator, and the tubing for the toilet.
Tube.
Yep. So yeah, so that's a lot to hide.
Okay.
Now this I redid differently. See the doors open? They're not sliders. Originally I had sliders there, but I went ahead and put doors in because we found on the internet a great way to make drawer storage. So you can see that these drawers actually slide out.
Hold it.
If you want. Hold on.
Okay.
So these drawers slide out. Now the whole thing comes out too. Like I can remove the stuff that's back here, and this piece comes out. And then I have some locks back here to unlock the boxes, and then I have to wiggle the boxes out, which might take a little more work here. I haven't moved these in a while.
Do you really want to take it out?
Sure, it's a tour. So, all right, fine, I won't take it out. But anyway, these two boxes both come out. Like this one comes out too. You can see it move, it comes out. So this whole box comes out because underneath there is a through hole to suck water in. So I need to be able to access the through hole. So that's why it is the way it is like that. And then you push it back in, you stick your separator piece back in there. Watch it. There's a tube back there, and then they have a latch in the back, and they lock in place so they don't go sliding out back there. And you just close them like any other drawer.
Of course, when you don't want them to slide out is probably when they would slide out. You just tried to get them to slide out, and they wouldn't.
Oh well,
slide
they
out.
take a little bit.
But what I'm saying is, when you don't want them to slide out, is when they would slide out.
Alright, so, oh, well, I'll let the Admiral come out and I'll show her. Yeah, so the toilet, you can see, has a surround. Oh,
very nice surround.
We redid the flooring in here, too, so that's new flooring we have here. We do have a, this is a trash, which has a label for everyone to read that says, "Notice to landlubbers, a marine toilet, we call it a head, is a complicated mechanism. If you toss even the smallest thing into it, even a paper matchsticks or a hank of hair, it will probably choke, and there are no plumbers at sea. If you have never operated one before, the skipper or mate will be glad to show you how." So that's reading material anytime you're in here. So the Admiral didn't like all the tubes and stuff that we're showing here. So in order to fix that problem, I'll move this out of the way and that out of the way. I'm going to let the Admiral take the camera here. I made a puzzle. And you unhook that, pull it down. This piece comes off. This piece comes off. And this piece moves away. And now I have access to everything that's back there in order to get to it. So
this is how it would look. Move that again. Is if we didn't have the surround.
Yeah, it doesn't look all that nice. I admit you're right. I mean, it looks much better having a surround around it.
Say that one more time. You admit what?
If it's good to have a surround, is what I said.
You admit what?
I'm not admitting nothing. Okay, on to over here we have. I put in new AC.
You admit what?
Outlets. I'm not admitting nothing. Over here we have AC outlet. We have a nice fan. I have DC outlets I put in as well for USB and that in case we have something we want to run off DC instead of AC. We have that available in here. Plus I added a light in here, an LED light that is not working. Oops. Well,
and it can be a red light.
It used to work. It used to be red. Now I gotta check it. Anyway, guess that doesn't light up any.
Which is nice for night sailing.
Always time for fixing stuff in a boat. Yay! We did add a lot of light to this room. This room has more lights than anywhere on the boat. It actually has 2 side lights here. I got that from an auto store. These lights I got from an auto store, and this is an RV light. And so we have the 2 lights in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lights in here. Because we know how important the head is to the Admiral. Yay! All right. Is that it for the tour? Did we hit everything?
So.
Oh, the engine room.
Oh.
Okay, for all you techies and engine room people, you may want to zone out if you're into the pretty stuff because this is just the engine room. Yeah. Okay, so.
Most people like our engine room.
It's a big engine room because it's a room I can get into. It's not like a stair. It's not hidden under a stair. It's a room. So I did add a light in that turns on a light in here. Originally, it just had fluorescent lights that only worked on AC power. This is my dehumidifier. I keep in the boat when we're not on it for like periods of time to keep the humidity down. Okay, so this is the engine room. It's got the main engine, a generator, black tank. It's got the water tank, the 20-gallon water tank in it. So I'll kind of just take you around to everything here and show you. Start with here at the beginning. Right here I've got drawers that were already in. I just painted them blue so to store stuff in. Right here, this big beast of a battery. I think it's called a 4D battery. That's for just to start the engine. That's just to start the engine. And then I have switches over here that you'll see for changing the main engine, starting to turn it off and on, to emergency start house battery crossover, so I can turn up and I turn the house batteries on. And there's another battery back here, another backup battery I've got hidden right there. That's our backup battery. It just sits there and keeps charged. And turn that on in case I really run into problems to start the engine. So I got several ways to fix this. Discharge of oil prohibited. You need that for Coast Guard stuff, so make sure you have that. I have a fire extinguisher in here. I also have the halon system is in here. So this is an automatic halon system. So I got 2 forms of fire suppression in here. This is our bilge pump, our manual one. You can kind of hear it take off. I hope no one's standing outside the boat. I'm spitting water out of them. It's clean water though, because we're on the hard. So you can hear that, and it's down here, down there in the bilge area. You can hear it start to go. Yep, there it goes. So it just emptied. I just dumped a bunch of fresh water in there. Right here is the original battery charger. It still works. It says Professional Mariner. So it's, I don't know what year it is. I can't see a year on that. 30 amp, 12 volt DC. So, and it still works. There's nothing wrong with it. This is the engine. This is a turbocharged 160 horsepower 6-cylinder Perkins. It's the original engine.
Every sailboat needs.
Yes, every sailboat needs a 6-cylinder 160 horsepower turbocharged engine. Yeah. The transmission is a velvet drive transmission, which is great because I can leave it in gear. I don't have to have a safety thing to push it to stop it from spinning. It can free spin on its own. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be stopped from spinning, which some of the older transmissions you have to do that. Here I've got some. These are really long battery cables. They're like 10-foot battery cable or 20-foot jumper cables, in case I ever need it. I've got an oil pump out system, oil changing system here that I can do over here, or I can take it all the way over and do it in the diesel engine to change out the oil and the coolant. So, all right. So I'm gonna pop in here. I'll let you take a hold of that for a minute. The camera.
Okay.
You got it?
A big old
What?
hornet in there.
That's all right.
Oh. What?
All right, I'll take that. All right, so we're in the engine room, and you can see I'm kind of standing up almost. I mean, I'm only hunching over a little. You know, I'm standing down here, and I'm almost standing in the engine room. So I've got looking at the engine room here. I'll just take a quick. How about a 360 again? Just a nice, easy 360 of the whole engine room, because I can actually turn around in the engine room. And like I said, I'll go into more of what everything's kind of here inside my engine room. All right, so I've got the solar charger here. So you can see the solar charger is working. That's in here. I've got this switch is for the fluorescence, and you can see those just came on because I'm hooked onto shore power. And that was the only lighting in here except for some really dim lighting. I did add, and you can see how it's really bright in here. I added LEDs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LED lights in this room. Not as many as the bathroom, but still it lights up this place without killing me. There's my wiring nightmare. That's our electrical panel. Oh my god. Yeah, you're probably going, holy cow. I did label everything. I took a long time, and you can see there's labels, different color labels on everything, so I know where everything is. I traced everything. I mean, the wiring's not bad, so it's not like I had to go redo the whole thing from scratch. There's a lot of contacts I did have to clean up, and I did that just because they were getting old. There's that transformer I was talking about that transforms AC voltage to DC for the lights. It looks really old, but it works. And let's see, we got the windless circuit breakers here. I've got on-offs for the inverter. This is the fuel polishing system, which I may or may not have gone over. Basically, you flip this switch up to polish the system, and it sucks fuel up into here. This is part of the polishing system. It kind of mixes it or something, or aerates it, shoves it through the existing filter, back around. I got a pressure gauge to tell me, so when I do that and I turn it on, you can hear it. Watch the pressure gauge, and you see the pressure gauge is going up. And when it gets into the yellow, basically that means that that brake core filter is getting gummed up and is creating pressure. So right now, things are good, so I can leave that on, let it run for a while, and then, like I said, it circles back down and goes back into the tank. So it's just a circular thing where it just circulates the diesel through all these cleaners. Okay. Over here, this is the inverter. It's a Freedom Marine Inverter 20. Over here, I've got lots of DC fuses I had to clean off because they were all corroded. This is the pipe that gets water from the, I'm right above the cockpit, that drains water out of the boat. This is the stick, I diesel, this is how I stick my tank to know how much diesel I've got in the boat. So you can see here I got 2 sticks, and I got a little gauge up here that kind of tells me where I'm at, but I also have it marked on the stick so I can see how much diesel I have in the tank. This is the filter for the generator. I've got a power here for charging external batteries, and for my Milwaukee system tools, I leave that in here and charge my batteries. This is a water pump for the air conditioning system. Now you see these blue tubes? That's something I did add recently in that are stuck to the engine. This is from the engine's coolant system here and here. And I was going to do a video on this, but it got ransomware. So this comes into here, comes into the water tank here. This is a 20-gallon water tank that's up against here. And basically it feeds the hot coolant through the heater so you heat the water. So I can turn that off. I put these on so I can turn them off and on. There's one over here too. So in case there's a problem with the water heater blows or a hose or something, I don't lose all my coolant, and I can turn that off, and then now the coolant's just going to stay in the engine. So it's a safety thing, but also this thing gets hot. I mean, it'll heat that when the engine gets 160, and it heats that water up pretty good. This is the AC system and heater, the main AC cooling system, and you see all the silver tubing, and this is part of that as well. It's a Mermaid system that runs the air conditioning and heating. This is a drawer I put in. This used to be, right here was another AC system like this one that did the cold plate system, which is that thing I tore out and put the Engels in. So that's gone, and I put a big drawer in, and inside the drawer, and I got a latch there to hold it in, and it takes a little oomph, but this is where I keep my ratchet sets and any other chemicals I need. And I make sure to latch it so it doesn't go flying. Over here is my water system, which I may or may not have gone over, I can't remember. It's from the Water Fixer Company. It's a UV carbon pleated filter system with a little pressure gauge. It tells me if it's pressurized, and I just made a blue board to mount everything on, so I can pull the whole blue board out if I need to work on it or whatever, but no, I doubt I'll ever do that ever again. So yeah, and I got extra tubing that I keep on board in case I need some. Up here, this black unit, that's the diesel heater, which is tapped into the air conditioning system as well. So the diesel heater will pull air from inside the boat in the bathroom, pull it through the diesel heater, through there, and it taps into the main distribution box for the AC, so it sends it out on both rooms. So therefore, I don't have to have a separate vent for it. This is the exhaust tube. This is the fresh air intake and the diesel pump that's coming from the tank. And I mentioned the switches for the diesel and the generator. Let me show you where those are at. So you see here's the little switches. There's the generator fuel valve to turn it off and on. Right now it's on. And here's the one for the diesel heater, and that turns it off, or that turns it on, that turns it off. So that's what I mean when I have those labels there, how to turn them off and on. That's my black tank. This is the sensor for the tank. This is a sonic sensor. It uses sound. Still has a hole in there, but it doesn't have a mechanical device inside, thank goodness. This is the generator. It's a Northern Lights 8kW generator, 3-cylinder diesel engine. So that's how I power stuff I can off the shore power. What else have I got over here? So this is the hydraulic steering system, which is kind of low right now. I'm gonna have to pump that up. It uses a bicycle pump to pump the pressure up to get the pressure. So I've got probably a little leak because it's been sitting for a while, so it's not up to quite where pressure should be. And back over here, this is a water muffler for the generator exhaust. This is the exhaust for the engine, which doesn't need a water muffler because it's such big, it doesn't really make that much noise. And then I've got some storage here for extra filters, straps, bungs for plugging holes. Back over here, you see here is the diesel battery, the generator battery, which is a diesel. And then over here I've got an extra battery, which is one just to hook in case stuff goes wrong. Under here you can see I've got, this is the filter for the raw water for the main engine diesel. This is for the generator, and this one's for the AC system. So I've got them all down here at my feet. Over here I do have a leak detection system, which is basically, this is an adapter here, a power adapter that takes DC 12 volt to DC 9 volt. To run this, it's a Honeywell system, and I can do a link in there, but it's got a little sensor wire that goes down into the bilge down here. Hold on, let me get my lighting crew, see if we can get some light on it. Okay, and it goes down into the bilge area, just slightly above a bilge area, so that when the water gets just where it's going to touch the transmission, that'll send the sensor off, and with the wireless hotspot I got, connects to it through cellular, and then alerts my phone and email saying, hey, I've got a leak. It also has a humidity sensor, so it'll detect humidity as well. Over here, this is a propane unit that senses propane or gases, so that'll go off in case there's a propane leak, because there is a propane tube running around out to the stove. So that is the full tour of the engine room. Oh, well, almost a full tour. Okay, these are my batteries. I've got a little device here. So these are where my house batteries are. And these are, see, I've got dates on them. So in the 2019 is when I put them in, and they're golf cart. They're 6-volt golf cart batteries. which are wired all together. So I got 4 of those in place, and they're lead acids. All my batteries are lead acid, so you always got to pop them up and check their levels, make sure they're top. But they've lasted quite a bit, and they do real well. You know, I'm told that the 6-volt batteries do much better at deep cycling. All right, so that is the full tour of the engine room. Let's go back and find the Admiral, who got bored. He's probably sleeping now, taking a nap. So, let's go find the Admiral. Oh, Admiral! Admiral? Jean? I think she abandoned ship. Probably because there's a Hornet right there, or a Wasp, and she's abandoned ship. Jean? Hey, you abandoned ship. You alright? Yeah, I gotta install those. I haven't installed those yet.
I went to use the restroom, but it's locked.
I thought the wasp scared you off.
Did you do something with the wasp?
No. Alright, well that's it. I gave the engine room tour. Anything else?
No.
Then that's it for the tour. What's the last thing we want to do usually as you watch her climb up the ladder here? There you go.
If
made
you
it.
like the video,
yeah,
like and subscribe.
All right, well thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tour. I know it was long, but that covered everything. So that's it for the remodel work. We're done. The only thing I'm doing is fixes, and next videos will be trips. So we got quite a few trips planned coming up, so we'll hopefully get some videos of those and include them.
Yeah.
Good deal?
All right.
All right.
Hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Later.
Bye.
Should we say not sure when our next one's going to be?
No.
No? Should we? What else can we do? Not sure if we're going to be on the boat. Not sure we're getting off the ground. What? Not help me here. Work with me.
I don't think you're sure.
Okay. I'm sure we're going to end this now. Later.
All right. Bye.